contest. I am so excited that you are here today to celebrate with me because this is a big milestone. So first, let me know that you can hear me okay. I've got a little microphone on, so hopefully it's doing its job. And I'm also just checking that everything looks good over here. I think it does. Hopefully my internet holds pretty good. Yay, happy 200! I am so excited. Hello, everybody. Let me know where you're watching from today. Oh, and if you're watching this as a replay, this is going to be an entirely, well, not entirely, it's going to be a pretty different episode today. Normally, I make my podcasts ahead of time, I record them, we edit them so they're nice and smooth, but today is going to be a lot more interactive, a lot more chat. I'm still going to talk about my projects, I'm still going to answer questions, but I also have 7 prizes to give away, as well as a grand prize that you'll be able to enter whether you're watching this today or you're watching this live or not. So any of that is going to work. This is so cool. So many people here. Oh, hey, you're watching on your lunch hour. Who else is joining in from work? I might be a little out of breath because I don't know, what elevation are we at? I think we're at like 6,000 feet or something. I guess we've been at pretty high elevation for a couple of days, but it's different when you start like talking. So, huh? 7,000. We're at 7,000 feet elevation. I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona right now. So hi from Flagstaff, Arizona. We have been in 2 states in the past week. We've been in California and Arizona, and later I'll talk about more about what we've done this week. I usually do a life segment. I think I've convinced Ken to join me. Maybe? he's in the front seat. He's shrugging. I also just real life popped a pimple right before this, and it started bleeding, of course, right before I needed to go live. So you're getting all the real happenings today. I'm going to be looking at my computer over here as well because it's got the chat up and it just helps me kind of stay focused on everything. I'm guessing you can hear me okay because nobody said that they can't. So we're just going to carry on like it's all good. Kathy said, I hope you're able to see my socks I sent you last night. Where did you send them to me? I don't think I've seen them. I also wasn't really, our internet was a little iffy last night, so I haven't really been on my Instagram as much. Hi from East Tennessee, hi from DC, Fort Collins, Colorado. Volume is great. Thank you, Shantae. Toaster is good. Let me see if I can lift this. He's right here hanging out with me today. He probably needs, it was so cold last night here. Not that cold. I mean, it was cold outside. It was in the 40s, I think. But it got so cold in our van because we left open, we have a fan in our ceiling. We left it open because it was kind of warm when we first parked. And then throughout the night, the temperature dropped and it just got really cold in here. And when I woke up, I tried to turn on our heat and I couldn't figure it out. And I didn't realize that the fan was open, so there was cold air getting in. Anyway, we just froze last night. But now we're all warmed up. We're parked in the sun. I'm actually kind of warm. So it's all good now. It's all good. Yeah, I just put Toaster's blanket on him so he can be all cozy, and I think his eyes are closed. He's all cozy and warm. Okay, why don't we kick things off with a prize? I have so many fun prizes. All of the prizes that I'm giving away today are open internationally. So you can enter no matter what. I have 7 prizes that I'm going to be giving away here live. So if you're here right now and if you stick around, you have a chance to win one of these prizes. And then I have another prize I'm going to talk about a little later on that you'll be able to enter through the comments. So if you have to leave today and you can't stay on, just come back and you can see how to enter in the comments for this one. It's a big prize. I'm really excited about it. These are all, except for one, they're all yarn prizes. And the one that's not a yarn prize is a yarn accessory. So they're all good for knitters and crocheters. And I guess if you're gonna do something else with it, it's knitting and crochet yarn. It's not weaving yarn or anything like that. Most of these are yarns that I have I've purchased in the last couple of weeks. A lot of them are from DFW Fiberfest because we all know that I can't resist a show colorway, and I just love to buy them and support those dyers. And then I'm like, am I really going to use this color? Which is all the more fun because then I get to give away so many fun things. A lot of these I was like, do I really want to part with this? But if you saw the picture on my Instagram stories of our van, so we live in a van, I'm in it right now. I had 4 or 5 tote bags of yarn on the floor. So that meant that every time we stopped for the night, we would move all the tote bags into the passenger seat. And then every time we would drive for the day, we'd move them all in the back. And that's like not the only thing. There's a lot of stuff we have to like, this folds out into a bed. There's a lot of things that have to wiggle around. And so that was getting to be a lot. So last week I finally shipped some of my leftover yarns home, like things I've been using in my blanket. I shipped them home to my parents so that they can be stored there. And then I divided up like, okay, these are the things I'm going to keep. I sent some of that home too. These are the things I'm going to need more immediately. I put it up on my shelf that's up here. And then I'm like, let's give away some on the 200th episode. And then I saved a bunch for my members. So if you're a member, I've got a bunch of stuff coming. Okay. So for some of these prizes, I have some little Knitty Natty trivia questions. So in order to get this prize, you need to answer the trivia question correctly. I'm going to see if we can do like first person who answers, maybe. I'm going to do my best to try to watch that in the chat. But okay, let's see. The first thing that I have to give away, let me stay in order so that I don't get out of whack here. And then we'll get into the projects. And I also see some questions are coming through. I am planning to do like a question segment where I will just be like answering questions. So I'll do some throughout, but if I'm not getting to your question, just know that I have that coming. Wow, there's so many people here. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so the first thing I have is a gorgeous sock set from Ruby and Roses. It's called Equinox. And then this is Nutmeg. And this is a one of a kind. And this was I believe, part of her new fall collection. So I think you can still get this yarn if it really just draws to your heart. It's so pretty. It's so bright. It's so nice. I just couldn't hang on. Sorry. I just couldn't hang on to all of them because I just have too many. And I felt like this yarn needed to go to somebody who was like ready to use it, right? So it's a sock set. It's got 2 minis. You obviously can use it for whatever you want. You don't have to make socks. I've seen some really cool muscle burrow hats. This would make a really excellent muscle burrow. You could do like 2 different color brims. Anyway, you get to decide. Okay, so get your chat opened up because this one's going to be a little bit of a trivia question. So I'm going to give you a second to get ready. And I've never done anything like this before where I give away something, I think, on YouTube. So we're going to see how it goes. All right, so the question is, what month and year was the first Knitty Natty podcast episode? Month and year for the first podcast episode. Whoa, somebody already got it. I'm going to let you keep answering. I saw who the first person was. Excuse me. Oh, I see a lot of good guesses. Y'all are all really in the right like time frame. Nice. Nice job, guys. Okay. So the answer is your video behind? Oh no, I'm sorry. I won't do all the prizes the same way. I promise. I won't do all the prizes the same way. We're gonna do some trivia for fun, and then we'll do some where it's like the first person, some where it's like a random. I'm gonna try to keep it fair, okay? So the answer is the first, I guess it's the Love and Stitches podcast episode was January 2019. So that means I'm coming up on 5 years of podcast episodes in January. However, I actually started my YouTube channel in December of 2018. I saw some people say December. So if you're remembering December of 2018, I started my channel with Vlogmas. And so I did 30 days of, or not 30 days, sorry, 24, 25 days of Vlogmas episodes. And then I did a year in review episode. And then I did my first podcast in January of 2019. Yeah, almost 5 years. Kind of cool that the 200th episode and 5 years are coming in around the same time. It's very fun. So the person that I saw on my screen first that answered this was Michelle. I think it was Breton or something like that. Michelle, are you still here? I think your last name was Breton, maybe? You were the first person that I saw. And remember, I'm not going to do all the questions this way. Yeah, you're here. Yay, Michelle. Okay, I've written down your name, but I am going to ask that you send me an email with your full name and address, please. And that will just help me get this out to you quicker. My email is knittynatty@gmail.com. Nice and easy. Oh, thank you all for saying congrats to Michelle. Congrats. So you are going to get this beautiful, beautiful prize. Okay, let's do a couple projects and then I'll do another prize. We'll do another trivia question, but we'll change it up. I won't just do the first person because I can understand some of you are saying your video is not at the same spot, and so that's not really fair, is it? Okay, the first project I'm going to talk about, because that's what I usually do on these podcasts, just in case it's your first time here, welcome, is my tessellated pullover. Okay, I am in the middle of the row. How did that happen? Oh yeah, because last night we were at a brewery and I was like, oh, I'm going to pull this project back out and work on it for a little bit. And I did that for like 10 seconds. And then I started looking at my phone because I hadn't had service all day. I'm going to tilt this down just a little bit. Okay, so this is really not in a good place. I have made some good progress. I'm not where I want it to be. If you remember, I wanted to have this finished before today because today was the start of the Stephen West MKAL. No spoilers here. Don't spoil in the chat. I'm not going to spoil it all. I'm going to show you my colors later, but that's it. And I really wanted to finish the sweater before that happened, and it just didn't work out. You know, it was a lot of knitting still. There was a possibility, like I still believe that I could have done it had I really wanted to, which is probably very delusional. But I feel like I just wasn't into the project when I needed to be. You know what I mean? And I'm still into the project now, but I'm just taking it as it goes. Will it get finished for Rhinebeck? I hope so. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I did finish the front last week. I finished the front. I got a bunch of really cute stitch markers from a new friend I made, Sarah. She gave me so many cute ones. So I just finished. Oh, there's already an update to the MKAL. Okay, thank you. I'll make sure to go update it. So I finished the two front pieces. I think I had finished one. So I finished this one. And then I right away, same day, picked up the back because I knew I needed to get going on the back. And this camera is not as good as my other one, but can you just see that stitch marker there? I've just worked, a decent amount of the back. So I need to finish the back, close up the shoulders, and then obviously work the sleeves. I guess not obviously. I'm making the pullover version, not the vest version, so I do need to do sleeves. Luckily, they won't be quite as long as like a normal sleeve because it is a drop shoulder. I think it comes like about to here, maybe? So they won't be quite as long as normal, but I do have pretty long arms. I usually have to add a few inches to all sleeves anyway, so it will kind of be like knitting a normal sleeve for me. So I'm just gonna take it as it goes. I guess the one other interesting thing I did this week was with my spin cycle yarn. So as I was hand winding this, I'm hand winding my yarn. A lot of the times I'm getting it wound when I purchase it at a store, but this I had purchased online, so I don't have my ball winding stuff here in my van. So I was hand winding it, and that ended up being a good thing because I got to slowly like see all the color changes as they happened. And I noticed that there was a really big section of like blue and gray, and then there was bright yellow, bright pink, and then another big section of blue and gray. So when I started this skein, I was still working on the fronts, and I had already worked up one like in a lot of blue and gray. So I wanted to make sure they looked similar. So I started with the blue and gray, and I think they look pretty similar. I'm not worried about them being exact. I just don't want it to look like completely different. And then I wanted the back to also look like similar to the front. So I didn't want to go, once I had used up the blue and gray from the one side of the skein, I was already getting close to that bright yellow and everything. So I decided to rewind the skein. I'd already cut the yarn to start the back from the front. So I actually just rewound it so it like reversed all the colors and gave me another big chunk of blue and gray to work with. So I don't know, I can see like just peeking through here, see that really bright yellow, which is so fun. I want to use that, but I want it to be in the sleeves. I don't want it to be like right here on the neck where my hair is going to cover it and no one's going to see it. It'll just look random, I think, but also it's a beautiful color and I want to like see it myself. So I want it to come in the sleeve somewhere. So I'm going to be managing my spin cycle a bit more as I get down to like the last sections and things. I actually do have another skein of spin cycle if I really needed to, but my size says it only needs 2 skeins and that would be my 3rd skein. So I really want to keep that 3rd skein like unused to potentially give it away to somebody. Like I'd rather not use it and crack into it if I don't have to. Thank you. The yellow is so pretty. I really like it a lot too. I think it's just going to be like a fun burst. I think it will make more sense on the sleeves than it does like randomly in the body because it's all pink and blue and gray. I guess there's a little bit like a soft yellowish here. That's kind of yellow. But that one's really bright. So I don't want to just like pop it in somewhere random in the body of the sweater when it's been nowhere else. Okay. I have a little bit of congestion. 200 episodes. I know. Thank you so much. Wait, somebody just said that you have the same kit? The same kit and mine is mostly yellow. Really? That's so interesting. Yeah, spin cycle, you cannot predict. My 2 skeins that I've been using for the sweater have been different in that like the other one had a very like orangey yellow in it. And this one has like a bright neon yellow. But other than that, they've been pretty similar. So I'm grateful for that because I know how they can be like 2 totally different colors sometimes. Let me see something. Oh, cool. I can mute my microphone if I need to. I said, I feel like at some point I might need to cough and you don't need to hear that. And when I'm not recording live, I can just pause. But here I can mute the microphone. So that also works. Oh, I need to get up here for my next project. Okay. Next one. That was the Tessellated. I have already linked all of my project pages down in the description box below if you need to see it. Actually, I'm going to, hang on one second. I have a t-shirt on or a shirt on underneath this and I'm getting warm, so, or wait. Do you think it's quiet enough to open the windows, Kent? Yep. I'm gonna open a window. Y'all let me know if it gets too loud, okay? Got a little sunshine coming through. Actually, let's open both windows. Yeah. How's that? Toaster like loves when I open the windows. I think I'm still gonna take this shirt off, maybe. Hang on. All right. Got my little summer tank top on. So we're ready to go for all things. I saw somebody say, how was Disney? Disney was great. We're definitely going to talk about that in the life. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that in the life segment because we had a fun 2 days at Disney. It's been like a week and a half since I last recorded a podcast episode. So there's lots to update on for sure. Okay, I want to talk about my blanket next, and then maybe we'll do another prize. Okay, so this is I'm calling it my Hexi blanket. I'm also calling it my travel blanket because this is yarns from all of the yarn shops that we've been visiting. I haven't gotten yarn at every single yarn shop, but most yarn shops and festivals and things that we've been to, I have been collecting yarns. Like I was mentioning, I had tote bags and tote bags of yarns on the floor, so I've already sent leftovers of some of these home. I am planning to potentially do another blanket that is a map of the United States where I will use, I will select one of the yarns from that state, because some states I have 1 yarn, some states I have 3, some I have like 10, but I will potentially be making that blanket in the future. It's one I need all of the yarns first, and then also it's going to be an at-home project because it's intarsia and blanket size. So that will be a one-day thing. But I've done a lot this week. I finally got my groove on this, where it's feeling exactly how I hoped. Sorry, Toaster, can you can you let me have a little space here, buddy? It's finally feeling like the doable project that I was hoping for, where I grab the yarn, I can whip out a hexagon. I still haven't, I was planning to time myself on today's hexagon. I just want to get a sense of like, how long does this take me each day? I feel like that's helpful information, maybe for anyone who might be looking to pick up a blanket project. Like, what are the daily requirements? This would make a great Advent project. It wouldn't make you a very big blanket. You might have to do like multiple years of Advents, but you could totally do it, or you could use up Advents that you have. Anyway, this blanket is so fun. So this is the Summer Fade Hexi blanket by Mallory Crawl, but I've made changes to it. So hers was like maybe 8 colors of DK weight yarn, and then white for the rest of it. So the colors, it's really pretty. The colors kind of like fade into the white background. I'm doing a completely different color for each hexi. I also added a round to my hexis. So mine are bigger. They end with a solid round, like a solid granny square. And I think that just gives it a totally different look. And I have all the notes on how I did that on my project page too. I'm also making mine from the center out. The designer has really great tutorials on how to join everything, and she doesn't show you how to join in the from the center out like I am, but she gives you all the things that you need to know, if that makes sense. Like I was able to figure it out from everything that she talked about, and she was like, "Oh, it'd be really cool if somebody made it from the center out, because then you could just keep going and going until you used all of your scraps or whatever." And I was like, that is what I'm going to do, because I don't know how many colors I'm going to end up with. So anyway, this week I finished my first, I'm calling it my circle. So this was my center square, and I did 6 hexagons around, and they're all attached as you go. So you work the first 4 rounds, and then on the 5th one you attach. So started here with Tennessee, and then I joined all the way around. I think I started this way. And then I went to start adding like the second circle around. And I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't really understand how this is going to work, because when I joined from the center one, you joined to all flat edges. So every time you joined, almost every time you joined, except for the first and the last, you joined with like 2 sides. Like you joined to the center, and then you join one side of the adjacent hexi, right? But then once you get to the second circle, you have some places where you're joining in 2 sides, like this, and some places where you're only joining on one side, like this, like on the top of the hexi, like I did at the center. And so then it finally started to make sense. So when I added my second layer here, I think I've got 4 on the second layer. You can see like this one has, is that the second layer? It gets a little confusing. It makes more sense when I can lay it out. But like this one I did 1, 2, 3 sides, right? And then this one I did 1 side of the previous, and then 2 sides here. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that well. I'm not even sure if I'm explaining it right at all. 1, 2, 3, I don't know, now it's looking like 4. Anyway, just trust me in that some spaces are like little V's and some spaces are like the tops of the hexi. So from what I can understand, I am going to double the number of hexis. Like this first layer around was 6, and the next one will be 12. I don't know if that will be consistent, like if it will be always doubling or if it will be a different kind of ratio, but I'm excited to see what happens. And right now I'm just gonna make it bigger in circles until I guess I feel like it's wide enough, and then I might just start adding in the corners. I don't really know. I don't know yet, but it's been really, really fun. So, see, there's another thing I forgot to grab. I am getting smarter and smarter every week. Is my sound still good, everybody? You can tell there's a little bit of wind and stuff. But I'm getting smarter, and look at this. here's all of the ones that I have finished this week. Actually, I think some of the ones I finished since the last podcast episode, I've already sent to my parents. But now what I'm doing, okay, sound is good, thank you. As soon as I finish a hexagon, I'm weaving in the ends. I only have one end to weave in because I'm able to crochet around that first one. I talk about that in my project page too, but I weave in the end, doesn't take long at all. And then I'm putting on Instagram a photo of like that specific one. So it'll be like this is Hexi number X. I got it in this state. I got it at this store. It's this dyer and it's this color. Let me show this one real quick. And then I'm putting that same information on Ravelry as a picture and in the bottom of my project page. I'm going to try to be so consistent with this because not only do I want that information easy to find for everybody, but I also want it for me when I go back later, if I'm doing this other blanket, I want to know like what were my Kentucky yarns, what were my Missouri yarns, and all of that kind of stuff. And then I am wrapping up. See how I have the labels like wrapped around? Some are staying better than others. And I'm putting it in these nice little Ziploc bags that my friend Denise gave me. And I am going to be, as soon as this gets filled, which I'm guessing it can handle one more cake of yarn, I will be shipping that off to my parents' house. So it doesn't have to stay here in the van. It can go, and all of my 50 States yarn can be stored at my parents. Instead of waiting for a really long time, and then like this past week I had to send 4 10 by 13 packages home. I can just do like one every week or so. So that's my plan. I'm feeling super organized. It's been really fun. And let me run through, I'm not going to pull the labels out because I just think that will be a little too disrupting to the organization that I already have. But I do want to talk about the colors real quick. I can just pull that up on my project page. Easy peasy. Okay, so I think because I've got a stitch marker in this Hexi, my guess is that that was either the last one I did last week or the first one I did this week. I cannot remember, but this one is from Indiana. It's Ruby and Roses, and it is called Love and Roses. It is a colorway that we created with the Love and Stitches membership. Okay, and then I think we move this way. Yes, so then we move our way into Illinois. This is Leading Min Fiber Arts, and this is the Knitty Natty colorway, which you can still order right now if you want to. I have the link down below. Then into Missouri. This is our first Missouri one. We were in, it's a big city, St. Louis. We were in St. Louis at YarnCom. And this is Honey Girl Farms, and it's called Sassenach. And then we went to Kansas City, and this is from Unwind. You might have seen the tour. This is one of their shop exclusive colorways from Lobby Anime, and it is called Midwestern Sunset. Then this one is also in Kansas City at Yarn Social, and this one is Coast to Coast Yarns Misty Morning. So all three of these are from Missouri. Then we move on to Kansas. This one is from 316 Dye Studio, and it is called Wheatberry. And I don't think this is exclusive to them, but it was a very Kansas colorway. And this I got at Yarn Barn, and we just put their tour up on Tuesday. And then the last one I just did yesterday is from Oklahoma. I got at Knit Stars, and it is Moondrake Yarn Company, and this color is called Pulsar. I know the colors are not showing up great, probably because I have weird lighting right now, but you gotta go look at the pictures because all these colors are just so beautiful, and this is coming together really, really nicely. I'm very happy with it. I'm gonna move my pumpkin. Into the last Hexi that I did, and we'll all remember that this was the last one, right? This was the last one I did when I finished a podcast episode. And then I've also been getting my next color ready for me here. So I have a ton of Oklahoma yarns because I discovered at that point, like when I was actually in Oklahoma about a month ago, I realized that I only need 16 grams for each Hexi. That's a loud truck. So that way I realized I could start getting mini skeins. So I probably have like 13 mini skeins for Oklahoma. So we're gonna be in Oklahoma for the rest of this whole round here. But I've got it all set up and ready for me later today. Okay, yeah, I love the yarn bowl too. I actually got this in Illinois. It was a gift. I don't have the tag. Her name is Prairie Girl Susie. Prairie Girl Susie, and I have a smaller one too that I do my sock stuff in. But what I realized with this longer one, there in the passenger seat, there's like this little shelf kind of in the dash. I can stick like this half of it into the dash, and then my yarn is free to feed from, and it's like counterbalanced. I don't know. It's very silly. It works great though. Yeah, thank you. You love my organization. It feels so nice when a project finally hits that flow. It's really, really great. I mentioned before, hold on, wait, pulsar. You didn't know the reference. Pulsars are highly magnetized rotating stars. That's really cool. There's like pops of yellow in that colorway that are so beautiful. I'm kind of wondering if that's part of it. Northern California, we're gonna be in Northern California next year. We only did like the littlest bit of LA basically this time. We really didn't even do Southern California. We did make it to a yarn shop, we did Disney, and then we turned back around and we came into Arizona. So we will be back. Okay, is it Prairie Bagworks? Prairie Bagworks by Susie. The by Susie part might just be the Instagram. I think the company is just, yeah, Prairie Bagworks. Thank you. Shall we do another prize? I have another question, but I don't want to do this exactly the same. But I am going to be giving away one of these lovely DFW Fiberfest show colors from Whimsy Stitches. And several of you have let me know since I first shared this colorway, when I just shared what I got at the show, that this is a reference to an adult film. I did not know that, but it's very funny because you can tell, like, it's like when you don't know a reference to something, like it doesn't mean anything to you, right? So the colorway is called Barbie Does Dallas. And again, apparently there was an adult film, I think in like the 80s, called Somebody Does Dallas. I don't know. I was not alive then, or watching adult films then, or now, I guess. But anyway, it's very funny. I think it's a very funny reference. It's a really cute colorway. It was a show colorway. I don't know if it was only available there or if like the stock was available afterwards, but either way, you have a chance to win. Debbie, okay. Yeah, somebody told me that in person. And then a couple people like messaged me. They're like, I think you don't know the reference. I'm like, you're right. I did not know that reference. Thank you for telling me. Oh, well. Yeah. See, a lot of people got a laugh out of it. And then if you don't know, you don't know. Like, it doesn't have to be a reference to you if you don't want it to be, right? That's how I feel about things. It's like, it's not that big of a deal. It is a really pretty colorway. And, yeah, Whimsy Stitches, he does like the most fun colorways. Okay, so I do have a question that I want you to answer in chat, but this time, don't stress about having to be the first person. I'm just gonna randomly select, okay? I think that'll be a little more fair. So, do be honest though. Like if you see somebody answer the question, don't like change your answer. Let's have some integrity with the prizes. All right, so here is the question for this skein. This one's about Little Toaster. He's totally asleep right now. He's so precious. Okay, so the question is, what movie did Toaster get his name from? It's also a book, said Kent. What movie? I'll give you a few minutes to answer before I tell you what it is. And remember, you don't have to be the fastest. Just be honest if you didn't answer it. Ken, are you on the live too? You are. Do you think you can do, after they stop coming in, can you do like a random selection for us? Okay. Ken's gonna do a random selection for us. And it just can't be Sorry, Michelle. Just can't be Michelle. Michelle, you can still answer all of the questions if you're still here, but we want to share the love with everybody. Okay, you guys are great. So it is the Brave Little Toaster. The Brave Little Toaster came out in like the late 80s, I think. I look this up fairly often because I get this question a lot, like where did Toaster get his name? And Kent actually named Toaster. Kent had Toaster before we were together. So he had just always said he wanted to like name a dog Toaster or Tater Tot, right? Yep. Toaster or Tater Tot, because he just thought those were cute names. And did Toaster come from the Brave Little Toaster? Yes. Yeah, so Toaster came from the Brave Little Toaster, and he just thought that would be such a cute name. And so when he rescued Toaster, his name was Darren, which is not a dog's name. And so he got his name changed. He was a puppy, so it was I don't think he answered to Toaster for like a year. Now he answers to Toaster. But yeah, so it comes from the Brave Little Toaster, which is a children's book and movie from the 80s. Kind of creepy. I do remember watching the Brave Little Toaster, and I liked it then. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, it is horrifying. It's like those 80s and 90s like kids shows were dark. They were so dark. Even like earlier than that, like even like Bambi, it's like, why? But anyway, so that's where he gets his name from. It's kind of ironic because he's not the bravest of dogs all the time. He's a little afraid of some things. Your husband's name is Darren. Exactly, right? Like you wouldn't name your dog that. Although I'm sure some dogs like would look more like a Darren than Toaster, but he just didn't, like a Darren to me is like a 90-pound dog, I feel like. I don't know. It's like, that's like a manly name. Oh gosh, so many people, their husband's name are Darren. That's so funny. Your dog's name is Ralph. See, that's cute. That's very cute. Yeah, and then they wonder why we all grew up with a dark sense of humor. I know. It's how we learn to cope as little kids. Oh, so funny. All right, I gotta get some more lip gloss on. The things that you don't normally see. Me do. Okay, Castle and Beckett, that's so cute. Oh, Pebbles and Mickey are both very cute. Oh yeah, I love the dogs' names. Keep them coming. Were you able to pick a random winner? Yep. Awesome. The Last Unicorn is a scary kids movie. Oh, Bagel is such a good name. Whenever I meet other, like, I know Toaster doesn't have a food name. Technically, it's an appliance. But there was a dog in our building in New York named Pretzel. There was a long-haired Dachshund, and it was so cute. I just love Sourdough. Yeah, I love like food names for pets. I think it's so cute. So many cute names. Squishy is your lizard. See, also it's funny when it's like ironic, like they're not squishy or they're not like soft or whatever, not sweet, or it's just very funny. Okay, who is the winner? Haley. Haley Bundy. Haley Bundy. Haley Bundy, are you here? You are the winner of this. We picked randomly this time. Oh, Pearl is such a good name. I love that. Michelle, you're still here. I love it.
Yeah, something like that, because it's already scrolled off.
It's already scrolled off, but we think it's Haley Bundy.
She was wearing a Vikings jersey, maybe with an actual Viking.
You were wearing a Vikings jersey? In the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In your picture, you were wearing a Vikings jersey. Hopefully you're still here. Let's see.
Yeah, they answered.
They answered?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, great. So same thing, if you can send me an email with your full name, because I missed you answering, so I also want to make sure I spell Haley correctly and your last name correctly. So send me an email, knittynatty@gmail.com, with your full name and your address, and I'm going to hopefully get these sent, all these prizes sent out this weekend. We will be in one place this weekend, so we'll have some time to get things sent. Am I disturbing you, Toaster? He's like slowly pushing me over more and more. Oh my gosh, Ken, are you reading these names for all the dogs and cats? So cute. I love it. Maybe with an actual Viking. You heard him say that, Jess? This is so funny. Oh, Pretzel, so cute. Okay. Whew, I laugh, I start to get little tears in my eyes. All right. the name Useless. That would be kind of funny. I know there's a lot of people that have a great sense of humor when it comes to naming their pets, and it's like, you do have to think about when you're in public calling their name. All right, I have a new project to show you. You might have seen it already on Instagram, but I haven't shown it on the podcast yet. So I started a new pair of socks. Yay! Okay, so I wanted to start several projects for October because it is Halloween month. I love Halloween, but I also wanted to start this project for Disney when we were there early last week. So this yarn, I did at one point have the label with me, but I've been like swapping project bags around because I don't have a ton of project bags, and I think it's gotten lost somewhere in the shuffle. So I don't have the the tag with me right now, but I have the project page linked. And this is Forbidden Fiber Co. And the colorway is Tomb Sweet Tomb. It was from her Haunted Mansion collection that we saw at DFW Fiberfest. There were like 4 colors, I think. I think there was a Haunted Mansion one. There was like Madame Leota. If you aren't familiar with the Disney lore or whatever, the Haunted Mansion is both at Disney World and Disneyland. I don't know if it's at any of the other Disney parks because I haven't been to them. What? Sort of? Yeah. Okay, so it's sort of at some of the other Disney parks, Kent says. It's a great ride. It's a dark ride, which just means you're on like in like a little they call it a doom buggy, I think, on the Haunted Mansion. And you can sit like 2 or 3 people, and it just like goes along a track, and there's different rooms that it takes you through with different music, and it's like a spooky Haunted Mansion. And my favorite story to tell about Haunted Mansion is that the first time I went to Disneyland, I knew about Tower of Terror. And I knew that Tower of Terror was a drop ride, but I didn't know that it was called Tower of Terror. I just like knew of the ride. And so in the Haunted Mansion, before you go on the ride, you get into this big elevator with a bunch of people, and it goes down, but like slowly, like an elevator. And I thought that that was the drop ride. So we're all standing there, like just no seatbelts. We're just like literally standing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to drop us like this, like not in a seat. And then I learned that that was a completely different ride. Now I know a lot better because we've been to Disney lots of times. We've been very fortunate to have a lot of fun at Disneyland and Disney World. But anyway, that is the more you know before you go to Disney. So I wanted to start these socks so that I had something fun and themed to work on while we were at Disney. I did get a lot done while we were waiting in lines for the different rides, but I didn't do a ton. I mean, we try to be very strategic and not wait in line for too long. So I didn't do a whole lot. I am making these socks for my mother-in-law. I'm probably going to send them to her for her birthday in early December. We'll see. I haven't made her socks in a really long time. I've been really, like in the last 2 years, I've been really not great about sending my family members gifts. So I'm trying to make my mom a couple things, my mother-in-law a couple things. My brothers requested something this year. I'm going to try to be a little more giving, especially with my sock knitting, because I just don't wear a ton of hand knit socks. I actually am wearing hand knit socks today, little shorties. But I just don't wear mine as much. For as many as I have, I don't wear them. So better for me to make some for other people. So I am making some. I see what's a good first sock pattern. The Crazy Sock Lady has some really great vanilla sock patterns. If you ever see vanilla in socks, it just means that it's simple. There's no other pattern other than the sock itself. It's stockinette like I have here. So I think hers are really great. She's also got YouTube tutorials that go along with them. If you like my teaching style, I also have YouTube tutorials for sock knitting, but I don't have a written pattern to go along with them, which is why I'm saying it as like a second suggestion, because I don't have all of the numbers and things for you, whereas I'm pretty sure Kay does have that in all of her patterns, the Crazy Sock Lady. So I would go there. She's a really great resource. For these socks, I have cast on 64 stitches. I do suggest cuff down for your first sock. I have done 64 stitches, 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing, 40 rounds for the leg. It's a medium length leg, not super tall. I did the Fish Lips Kiss Heel by Patty Joy White, and I have just barely started my foot here. So I mark the end of my heel and then I start counting rows from my foot so that I can make sure that the socks match. I also have notes from the last time I made socks for my mother-in-law on how many rows she needs for her socks. So that helps me keep things nice and consistent. So that is a new project for me this week. I was about to cast on another pair of socks. Actually, I'll just show that real quick if I can find it. Where? Toaster? Did you see where my, oh, you're on top. He's literally, this is what I was looking for. Thank you. Okay. So here's a non-project that I sort of started this week. I actually wound the yarn. Hey Kent, do you see, no, never mind. It's with me right here. I'm going to start another pair of socks. I am freeing myself from the notion that I have to like only start projects that I'm ready to work on at the moment. And I'm starting to be like, actually, sometimes it's a good thing to start some projects and get them to the point where they're like easy knitting, you know, maybe no more increasing and decreasing and whatnot, so that they're ready for you in another stage. So right now I'm thinking about October is going to be really crazy. We are going to be in New Mexico at the end of this week. We're going to do a yarn crawl. We're going to a yarn festival. Then we're going to a wedding in Colorado the week after that. Then we're driving all the way across the country to New York for the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, aka Rhinebeck. And there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff going on then, but there's also going to be a lot of social time. There's going to be a lot of knitting in a dark car, you know, just all these times where I'm going to need projects that are easy to work on. So if I have a few pairs of socks going, that's okay. I also started a Musselboro hat that I'll show in a minute, but I'm going to start another sock project. And this used to, especially last year when I was really cracking down on like lingering whips and things, this used to be for me not a conducive thing to my goals. But now I'm like, my knitting is a little different. I think about my knitting and crochet a little different. So I feel okay about starting a bunch of new projects. I know that I will finish them or I will rip them if I don't want to. Like I'm just in a different stage, if that makes sense. My knitting philosophy. Yeah, Toaster is so cute, isn't he? So all that being said, oh, I'm showing this yarn and I didn't even give you a warning. Everything okay? Oh, okay. It's looking at me weird. If you got the mystery sock set from Nicole C. Mendez and you haven't opened it yet, I'm very sorry because I just was waving around the yarn, but I'm about to show it. So if you want to close your eyes or look away from the screen for a second, I am going to show that colorway and I'm planning to get it wound up here soon. So here it goes. Okay, so this is from Nicole C. Mendez. It is a self-striping colorway. This is the name of the color. I won't say it out loud just in case you are waiting to open it. And I'm not even going to describe the colors because you might not have opened it yet. And one more thing I'm going to show. This is the mini skein that came with it. So I think that will be like unexpected, right? But pretty. I think it's really fun. Like it definitely reads Halloween. It definitely reads fall, but it's also not typical. And I really, really like that. So I'm going to start a pair of socks. Okay, the colorway is gone now if you want to come back. I'm going to start a pair of socks for myself out of these. And my goal is, I think I'm actually going to start them toe up because I want to make them like the perfect height for my boots that I have. What is the brand? Bluntstone boots. I got a pair of Bluntstone boots earlier this year actually, and I really like them and I want to wear them and I want to wear them with hand knit socks. So I want to make them like just the right height that they show up at the top, but they're not like too tall, if that makes sense. And the mystery skein came in this bag, which was very cool because it was completely like I couldn't see into it at all. And now I have a nice bag I can use for something maybe. I'm not gonna toss it, but I'm also not gonna hold on to it for too long. But it could be like a little project bag if I need an extra. So I might do that. But that was cool. I think I ordered that. I want to say I ordered that before I left New York. So it was like early summer, and then it arrived just before we left in August with the van. So I have been carrying that around, waiting to open it until October. So I was very excited to open it. So that's a non-project, but I will be starting it soon. Yeah, it could be a wine bag. I think it's a little short, maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it is good for that. Yeah, I don't know. I like that it came in that because I think that's cool. Like, I know not everybody maybe has like the brain space to always reuse things. I know I don't all of the time, but like that's a very easy one to me. Like, oh, it didn't come in plastic. I can like use that for something else. Even if I use it 1 or 2 more times, I feel like that's nice, you know, nice to be able to have that option. Okay. How are we at? Ooh, I am like talking long about my projects today. That's okay. This is going to be a nice, fun, long episode. Remember, if you can't stick around the whole time, this is going to go up after. It's going to be, you know, all recorded and go up. So like, don't fret if you have to come in and out or like you have to leave or anything like that. Don't stress. I think we should do another giveaway and then I'll do my last project here. Yeah? Let's do it. Okay, this one, I don't know how many will know the answer to this one. I just like, I thought it was kind of fun to like look back on like, since I'm celebrating 200 episodes, it's like, let's look back on like the podcast episodes of the past. And let me show which yarn I'm going to give away first, and then I'll keep talking about this. Okay, this one is a special one. This is the special Knitty Natty Leadingman Fiber Arts colorway, but this is the one that we actually dyed together in the video. If you haven't seen that video, it's the dye studio tour, it's the yarn store tour, but we also talk about dyeing this yarn. This is the actual skein that it came in. It knits up. So the ones that they are dyeing now are slightly, I would say slightly pinker. The base background is slightly pinker. These are a little more neutral, the very, very first ones that we did. Lesson learned that you need to like replicate things a few times to know exactly how it's going to turn out. So these are like one of a kind of. So this is how my sock is coming out. I kept one skein. And I'm using it for socks, and I'm probably going to make myself like a cozy or something, I don't know. But then this is the second skein. There's literally only, you will be the only person with this other than me in the world. But if you do like this colorway, the one they're dyeing now with the Knitty Natty with the sock set that has a blue mini skein for Kent called Kentergy and a tan mini skein for Toaster called Toaster, they're still selling those as a pre-order, but I think they're like shipping them really fast because I know people are getting them, and I have the link down below, and that's through October 12th. But this skein I'm giving away right now. Yeah, it was so fun to create. I really love how this colorway came out. I'm just putting all my socks into my Halloween bag. I did make sure to pack my Halloween bag, and you better believe when I go back home, we're going back to my parents' house in November. I am going to be like flipping all of my yarny stuff. I'm going to be collecting the 8 bajillion advents that I'm getting, and I'm going to be bringing all of my like winter or Christmas project bags with me. I don't know how we're going to store things. We might have to get like a hammock for the ceiling or something, but it's going to be fun. Okay, anyway, let's do this skein. Okay, so we're going to do this one the same as we did the last one. You can answer the question, but then we're going to randomly pick. Kent, are you on this one again? Can you be?
Yep, okay.
That would be great. Okay, so the question, let me see how I want to phrase this one. I'm going to make this one hard. I have an easy version of this question and I have a hard version of this question, so I'm going to make it a little hard. And I will, if nobody's getting the right answer, I will help us get in there. Yeah, we'll pull a yarn trailer. Okay, so the question is, the background is, I am at podcast number 200, but if you look through the podcast episodes, there is actually a missing podcast. So, my question for you, I'll just do 2 questions. Why is there a missing podcast? And what number podcast is it that's missing? That's the hard part, is what number. I had to go back and look. I did not remember.
They all know.
Definitely. What'd you say?
They all know.
No, nobody's gotten it yet.
No one's seen
You have the correct last digits, which is what I knew too. I knew what it ended in, but I was like, when did this happen? It happened earlier than I thought. What happened and what number is it? You can answer either. Uh-oh, this just went offline. That concerns me. Okay. I don't think I've seen anyone get the number yet. Oh, I might have just seen somebody get both things. Actually, no, they only got one part of it. Okay, you guys are awesome. All right, Kit, I'm going to give the 2 correct answers, and if they have either one, you can pick randomly. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so podcast, if you're watching from the beginning, this will disturb you, I'm sure, to no end. It also disturbs me, and it is why we now keep backups of all the podcasts now. I used to record everything on my phone, on my iPhone. And I always tell people, if you're starting out, just record everything on your phone. Phone cameras are so good. If you have like one of the newer versions, you don't have to have the brand newest, but like in the last couple years, your phone is so good. But I also edited everything on my phone, which means that I stored everything on my phone, and podcasts are long. They took up a lot of storage. So after the podcast would post and I would be going into the next week, I would just delete everything because I just didn't have the space. Now we use a camera and then we edit everything on the computer. So we have a whole process. Like, it's on the memory card from the camera. We transfer it to an external hard drive, and then we edit it, and then we post it, and only once it's good there do we delete it from the camera, but we'd still keep it, the finished one, on our external hard drive now. So we don't delete them anymore. So if this ever happened, we would be able to recover it. But what happened to podcast 97? Oh, by the way, it's podcast 97. What happened to podcast 97? I actually think, I can't remember if it was a live episode or not. It was something where basically it had gotten uploaded twice. So the like actual version was showing up in one place on YouTube, and then there was like another version that said like a failed upload, and I was just cleaning things up. This was like maybe weeks to months after the podcast had come out, and I was like, oh, this is somehow, it's like been duplicated, like the failed upload, I just need to delete it. So I deleted either the failed upload or whatever it was, the duplicate, and when I deleted the duplicate, it deleted the real version. And you can't undo that, unfortunately. So podcast 97 is no longer with us, and very annoying if you're trying to watch through chronologically. No, it was 87. I checked yesterday. It's 97. I'm almost 100% certain. Maybe I am wrong. I don't know. But it is gone, unfortunately, and we will never see it again. And that will never happen again. Another tip for you, if you are a YouTuber, you can actually download your own videos. So if I were doing that now, I would download my video first. Oh, 87 was accidentally deleted. Are you sure? 97 is there? Oh man, maybe I did get it wrong. Dang. Cool. You guys are awesome. See, you found it. Both are missing? Uh-oh.
I'm also worried about 167 because a lot of people said that.
Well, looks like I have some work to do. I wonder if they're just not in the playlist. And that's it, and they're not actually missing. Maybe 87 is just the one that's missing. Okay, so with that information, I think that it's only fair to pick anyone that has 87, 97, or that it got accidentally deleted.
87.
It's 87? Dang, I really spent so much time trying to find that last night. Anyway, will you find us a winner, Kit?
Yep.
See, I did think I was earlier than that. Thanks for catching that. You can't remember much about the 80s. Yeah, 97 is gone. I think 97 is just not in the playlist. Yeah, 97 is on the channel. It's just not in the playlist. I just need to fix that. I had the 7 right. Thanks, Jill. Jill, you were always so positive. I knew it ended in a 7 when I was looking for it. 85 is missing too. They might just not be on the playlist. 97 is on the playlist. I need to go back through. So what I learned that also is annoying is when you do a live video, it doesn't go into like your uploads playlist. So if you look on my channel, I have things organized by like the most recently uploaded at the top. But then I have like, okay, you can go back and find the podcast. You can go back and find like, right now I'm featuring Rhinebeck videos or, you know, my yarn stores by state, things like that. And you can like, I try to be on top of those and changing them and adjusting them. And like this podcast that I'm doing right now, it will go into the podcast playlist episode, but it won't go at the top of my YouTube channel. So it will be hard for people to find. And I find that really weird. Like I wish it would go into uploads, but who knows? 758 people. Oh my gosh, that's so many people. Okay, so 97 was a live episode. So yeah, that's the problem. Is that sometimes it like does like a weird failed upload. So now I just keep everything. Yeah, I don't know why it's in a separate tab. Now, if something does like a weird like duplicate, I just don't delete it. I have like maybe 3 or 4 and I'm just scared to delete because it will delete the regular one. It should have been 86 because in restaurant lingo it means they're gone. It's gone. You run out of something. Sorry, I know I should have made it 86. Okay, do you have a winner for me?
Crafty Tiffany.
Crafty Tiffany. You are the winner of this very confusing question. Crafty Tiffany, are you here? Crafty Tiffany. I'm writing that down.
That was the best episode too.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the best episode. Congratulations! Yay, you're here! Okay, Tiffany, will you send me an email? knittynatty@gmail.com and with your full name and address, and I will be sending this to you. Congratulations! Yay! We can be Leading Men Fiber Arts twins. All right, I have one more project to show. And then we are going to do the question segment, and I'm just going to answer questions for like maybe 20 minutes for as long as I can. Since I've already talked for 60 minutes about projects, that's a new record for me, I think. And then Kent's going to come to us for the life segment, yeah? Maybe if they have questions for you, you can come for that too. Don't turn it on yet. It's going to start picking up your audio.
Yeah, I will when we ask questions if I need to hop in.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right, I have a new project, another new project. What?
Whoops.
It's not on, is it? No, it's not on, okay. Kent's just put on the other microphone, so I'm like, don't turn it on because it's gonna start picking up your audio. I started a Musselburgh hat yesterday. So this is the Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. This is my 8th Musselburgh hat, maybe? I have made a lot of them. I made a whole video about all the ones that I've made in the past earlier this year. If you just search like Knitty Natty Musselburgh, if you want to see like some tips on Musselburghs and then just some different versions of them, because I've done longer ones, shorter ones, ribbed ones, all for myself and Kent. But Kent is getting this one, and this is a Beetlejuice yarn. What?
What kind of yarn?
What? Kent's trying to make fun of me, and he's not even doing a good enough job because I can't even hear him. What did you say?
What kind of yarn is it?
Yarn? Beetlejuice. Oh, you wanted me to say it 3 times in a row. I didn't say it 3 times in a row, so ha. Oh my gosh. This is why I need Kent to go somewhere else while I do this. So this is Night Owl Fibers, and I got this at McKinney Knittery when we were there a couple weeks ago, and the colorway is called Wicked Beetlejuice. And I was a little alarmed for a second because you know how I feel about uneven self-striping yarns, but I think that there is a pattern to this. So I am starting, you know, at the crown. So I know that once I get to the full circumference of the hat, the stripes are going to be really skinny. I'm guessing they're going to be maybe 2 rounds of color, because in a sock, maybe like a typical 64 round sock, you might get maybe 4 to 5 rounds out of a stripe. It depends on the dyer, of course, but I'm going to have like 140 stitches, I think. So it'll kind of be like, ooh, they might even be like 1.5 round stripes. I don't know yet. We're going to see how it looks. And if Kent doesn't like it, maybe I'll take it out and make something different. But I thought the muscle burrow would really show off the striping because it's a smooth stockinette and it's double layered. I just think they're the best hats. So I just started yesterday, and as you can see, it goes white, gray, purple, green, purple. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. That makes me really uncomfortable because it's not doing what I thought it was, which I thought it would just like go through the 4 colors, you know, evenly. But what I think it does, and what I will have to wait to see, is that I think it's going to go white, gray, and then skinnier purple, green, purple. White, gray, purple, green, purple. So the white and the gray stripes are even, and the purple, green, purple is like skinnier. I think that's what it's going to do. So we shall see. It's cool to look at the muscle burrow like this, right? It's very fun. So for Kent, I make the adult medium. I think I haven't made a project page for this one yet, but but I will probably today. If you go back, let me see. Oh, you know what else is cool that I just realized too? My socks, my Haunted Mansion socks, are my 500th project on Ravelry. 500 projects on Ravelry. So this will be 501. I just thought that was really cool. But if you go back a couple of lines down, let's see, where's the last muscle burrow? Oh, the last muscle burrow I made Kent was his Pokemon. Why do I not have internet? Why is my computer not working? The site cannot be reached. That's weird. Hang on. I know, but I need the project notes. This is the last muscle burrow I made for Kent. And I used an advent, so that's why all the stripes are even though some are variegated, some are not. So it looks really cool. Is Ravelry weird right now? Oh, okay, maybe that's what it is then. Maybe it's just Ravelry. I'm pretty sure it's an adult medium, and I follow 8 stitches per inch, like the size, the adult medium at 8 stitches per inch, but my gauge is actually 7.5 stitches per inch. So that way I'm getting kind of an in-between size. So it's a little bigger than an adult medium. That's what I was trying to get to. So just go back to this project page if you want to look at it like right now, and then I'll have the notes updated soon. Stephen West took Ravelry down because everyone's getting on there updating their pattern. That's not a good thing for that to happen today of all days. We need to get our patterns. Oh, actually, that's my other project I need to talk about, isn't it? So that's it. That's all I have to say about this one. I want to get this one cast on and through the increases after I do the increases. So I'm using a 32-inch size US 2 needle, which is 1 size bigger than I do my socks on. After I get it to the full, number of stitches, I switch over to a 16-inch needle, and then it's such a great portable project. So I want to get it to there, somewhat soon, so I have it for all those things I was talking about. You have 500 projects on Ravelry? I think that's so crazy. Like, I know that it's not a competition or anything. It's more just like I'm noticing that, like, for myself, like, wow, I've been tracking projects in Ravelry since 2008. So how many years is that? That's 15 years? That's a lot of projects tracked. I feel pretty proud about that. Okay, one more thing I forgot. There's one more project. I am just going to show my yarns for the Stephen West MKAL. All I've done is I'm not even going to say what I've done this morning. I spent about 10 minutes on it this morning is all I'm going to say, because if I say anything about how I started, it may ruin the beginning for you, and I don't want to do that. So let's just talk about yarns. So I have a kit from Ruby and Roses. I think you can still get the colors and the kit if this is something like colors that interest you. But my lightest color is this one. Let me pull out the tag in just a second. All my colors are speckled or variegated, which is going to be interesting, I think, since it's supposed to be solid. This one is called Party Dress, my very first color. My next color is a lovely pink. This is probably my favorite. I need to put some cozies on these. I just haven't. I had these wound when I was at a yarn shop because I was like, oh, I don't really want to wind all of that yarn. Let's see, this one is called, let me get this out of here, Cosmopolitan. It's a really pretty color. Next up is this one. This is a recently renamed colorway, an old favorite that has been renamed. And it is called, I'm going to say it wrong because somebody either commented or like sent me how to pronounce it, and I could not interpret the way you broke down the syllables, so I need to look this up myself. But this is the colorway name. Calliope? I'm not really sure. And then last color, I almost pulled my needle with that one. I think this one is Deep Affection. So it's going to be so pretty with all of them together. I did not swatch because one, I wasn't ready. And two, this is my 5th year maybe doing the shawl, and I've always used the same size needle for his stuff. So I just followed the same size needle, and these are my colors. I think they're going to be really, really beautiful. And then the other reason I didn't swatch is that I saw somebody else that got this kit, Calliope. That's what I said, right? Calliope? 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 That does not sound right. Am I saying that right? Calliope? Where's the accent? Calliope. Okay, friends. Some of us, we're not kindergarten teachers. I'm just teasing. I'm sorry, I'm not really able to read your, like, how the accent and everything. I gotta go listen to it on YouTube. I'll go listen to it. The accent is on the lie. So it's Calliope? Oh, is it Calliope? Did I get it? Calliope. Oh, that sounds so much better. I'm like, we got there together. Thank you. Calliope. Actually, it sounds so much prettier when said correctly, doesn't it? It's another name for merry-go-round. Oh, that's cool. What does it actually mean? Why did I think it was a flower? Oh, Calliope. Wait, what? Calliope. Okay, that's enough of that. I actually totally lost track of the other things that I was saying. That's all my projects. I've got lots of projects going right now. Very excited about most of them, except for maybe the sweater. The sweater I'm not like not excited about. I'm just like, I'm not feeling like the pressure that I used to feel to like finish things. Like it'll get done when it gets done. It'll be fine. Oh, there we go. Somebody copied the actual accents. I love that. See, I also can't read those. I feel like it's very hard to read those accents if you don't know all the marks, which I don't know. All right, let's move into a Q&A. How about that? So if you have questions for me, what I normally do for my podcast is I say, comment on the podcast itself, and then in the next episode, I will answer as many questions as I can. So everything that was asked on podcast 199, as well as any comments with questions that are made here, they will go into the podcast 201 bucket. So let's just do live questions today. Let me know any questions that you have for me. They could be knit or crochet related. They could be life related, travel related, whatever you want to ask. I will answer for about probably 20 or so minutes, because I know we're already at like an hour and something. You know, I have long podcasts, so again, come and go as you please. But I will answer as many as I can here. Oh, my sweet boy is snoring. Oh, now he's doing the little eye twitch thing. He's sleeping so hard. No, you're such a sweet boy. All right. I'm gonna let a couple of those come in, and then I'm going to pick some. Let's see. Oh, am I blurry? Am I blurry for y'all? I'm blurry on my computer here where I'm watching, but I'm not blurry on my phone. So maybe I need to close out of this one here. Oh no, it just came into focus. Okay, so let's just start up here with will there be a fall knit along this year? Nope, no fall knit along this year. I'm probably just sticking to my one big sock week knit along. Let's see, you share books and movies but never music. I'm curious, what's your playlist for the van trip? We listen to a lot of show tunes, a lot of Broadway. That's most of what we listen to. Right now we're really into Shucked, and we have always been listening to Six and Beetlejuice. I don't know. We've been listening to, there's something else that I'm missing. Mean Girls, a little bit. Hadestown. I mean, we listen to like a lot of show tunes. That's pretty much all that we listen to is just music. Occasionally we'll do a podcast, but mostly we just talk or listen to music or just ride, kind of. We make a lot of plans as we go along. Do you ever knit while filming the podcast? No, I don't think I'm talented enough for that. I can definitely knit like while having conversations with other people like around me when it's a casual conversation, but when it comes time to like be on camera, you know, like and present and talk and project, like that's not something that I'm always super comfortable with. Occasionally if I'm doing an Instagram live or something, I might be able to make that happen because to me that feels a little more casual. Okay, when do I plan on coming to Pennsylvania? I'm not really sure yet. We're definitely going to drive through before we actually come to visit, but it'll probably be next year when we're in the Northeast. I know next year is a very broad term. A lot of stuff is next year. How is Toaster? He's good. He still has his moments where I think he's pretending at this point now to be scared of the car so he can sit in my lap. But he's doing really well. Like yesterday we did a lot of in and out of the car. We were going through the Grand Canyon and two national monuments. And so we did a lot, like anytime he can get out of the car with us, he's coming out of the car. Anytime we're going somewhere where he can't be with us, we like get him out, walk him around, make sure he's gone to the bathroom. We put him back in the van. You know, he's got his food, he's got his water, he's got his comfortable, like this is Toaster's area back here. Like he gets comfy, he has blankets, toys. If it's hot, he has air conditioning. If it's nice like it is today, it's like 60 degrees. We've got like a fan. We also have a temperature monitor that we check every 15 minutes just in case something happened. If the AC went out or whatever, we can get back to him. We are taking care of him in every way that we know how, and he is adjusting really, really great. What's on my dream knit list? For the past like 4 years, it's been All of the Lights. It's a cardigan by Joji Locatelli. It's a beautiful cable knit cardigan. I feel like I'm still stuck on finding exactly the yarn that I am looking for. This yarn, honestly, is kind of up there on the list, but it might be a little too wild. I have a really beautiful yarn from the Little Wolf Knits that I'm thinking about. I still need to swatch it. I just don't know yet. Not yet, but it's on my dream list for sure. Have I seen the Sweet Shop blanket pattern? I have. Everyone should look that up if you like scrappy projects. Oh wait, I skipped one. What did you end up doing with your hand knit socks you wanted to get rid of? I haven't done anything yet, but I have a big list of people who are like ready to accept donations. I made that video so close to the time that we actually left my parents' house and came in the van, and it just didn't make sense to bring all of that with me. So I'm hoping to take care of that in November. What are you looking at me for? Okay. What time will I be on the hill at Rhinebeck? I don't know yet. I'm kind of waiting to see like when other people do their meetup so that I don't, one, I want to be like around the time that other people do their meetup so that people will already be there. But I also don't want to be maybe clashing with other people's times. Usually Andrea Mowry does a meetup, and since I'm making the sweater this year, I want to be there for that. And then I will probably have mine before or after. I'm also planning to have mine not on the hill, but like on the pavement that's right at the bottom of the hill so that everyone can come, so that it's accessible for everybody. The hill is a hill. It's a grassy hill. There is a paved path that goes up, but it's pretty steep. So it's really not accessible, especially if you have a mobility aid. So we're gonna be like, there's usually 2 or 3 food trucks. There's like a cookie, coffee one, something else, and then like weirdly like monkeys or something. And then there's like a pretty big pavement area that's usually not very crowded. So that's kind of where I'm planning to be. If you've been to Rhinebeck, hopefully that makes sense to you. If you haven't been to Rhinebeck, like you'll see the hill because everyone will be on it, and then just like go to the bottom where there is the big wide path. That's where I'm planning to be this year. Time TBD. What is your favorite TV show ever? The Office. I love that show. What's my favorite project I've ever made? Always the most current one. Like right now, my favorite project is my Hexi blanket. It's bringing me so much joy. Maybe my favorite project ever is my wedding shawl that I knit. It's lace and beads. It's lace weight yarn, lace and beads. It's so beautiful. It was such a special time when I was knitting that. So maybe that one for like all time. Am I watching The Golden Bachelor? I am. I was kind of disappointed that it was only an hour episode, but I understand that Bachelor in Paradise is also on. So I haven't finished Bachelor in Paradise from last week, but I did watch Golden Bachelor. I know it all comes on tonight, but I will have to watch it later because we can get live cable. We haven't really like been anywhere where we've been settled to watch it, so we'll see. Maybe I'll watch last week's episode on Hulu tonight and then watch the tonight's episodes over the weekend. So I'm always behind now of all things. When is a van tour coming? Oh gosh, sorry, it's been so long. Here, I'll give you a mini one real quick. It's very messy right now. We plan to start a van like travel channel, and that's why we were waiting to do it on there, because Knitty Natty will have the aspects of travel, but through a knitting and crochet lens. And this other channel, we wanted to be like purely van stuff, but we have been so busy, we just haven't started it yet. So we're thinking it's not going to be, if it happens, it'll be the new year. So a full van tour might not be till then. But here's a quick tour, or you can just see it. Hi, Kent. So Kent's in the front seat, in the driver's seat. We have a kitchen, sink, and a stove. We are really low on water and we're not able to fill up right now, so we just have like dishes kind of sitting. Doesn't always look that messy. This right here is our bathroom. There's a toilet and a shower. We just use the toilet, not the shower. We use like Planet Fitness. Oh, it looks so shaky on there, gosh. We use like a Planet Fitness and campgrounds and stuff. And then we have like a bunch of storage up high. We're decorated for Halloween. And then where I'm sitting is the lounge area. So this is the like big seat across the back. Like this is, if we had a trunk, this would be the trunk. And this actually lays down into a bed. See, this right here is like a squishy mattresses that we lay out so we can have a really comfy queen size bed at night. That's pretty much it. That's the van. Hang on, sorry, it's gonna be shaky for a second as I open up this tripod again. Oh gosh. Let's get this set back up. That was a quick version. More to come. All right, there we go. I see like lots of when are you going to be X place? And the answer is I'm not sure. Our loose plan is that like for this year, we're kind of done traveling to new states. We're doing New Mexico at the end of this week and like doing our stores and everything there. And then we're going to a wedding in Colorado, and then we're driving across the country to go to Rhinebeck. So we're not really doing any more like states this year where it's like new states. Like we are traveling, but we're not really doing states, if that makes sense. Why are you looking at me like that again? He just keeps looking at me like something's gonna happen. Do you want to talk about this?
If you want me to.
Travel? Yeah, we'll come over here. I'm gonna wrap up what I was saying, and then you can share more detail. Kent is the travel planner, but we're gonna be doing Florida in December because we're gonna do basically visiting with family. So in November we'll be in Tennessee with my family. In Florida in December we'll be in Florida with Kent's family, and then next year we're doing, I think, like the South in the early part of the year, and then we're driving back across Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, and then doing California like south to north, doing the Pacific Northwest, doing like in the summertime we'll do a lot of the national parks, and then I think we're gonna end with the Northeast. So I know that doesn't really help of like exactly when we're gonna be where, but that's the loose plan. Okay, come here. You gotta turn your mic on though. Toaster, you're gonna make some space for our special guest. He says you can have this very small corner right here.
That's fine.
I'm going to scroll through these other questions while you're looking and just see what's coming up. Oh, we are traveling through the end of next year is the plan right now. Here's Kent. If you haven't met him, it's Kent with a T on the end. I know it's hard to hear. A lot of times when we meet people, we're like, Kent with a T on the end.
Like Superman.
Yes. All right. Tell us about the travels.
Cool. So yeah, loose plan. I mean, Natalie kind of hit it that we'll be in Florida for December. After that, we're going to kind of loop back up north. So Georgia, the Carolinas, and then into like Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. So that's, I saw someone ask, that's when we'll be in Houston. Like probably beginning of February. Really what we need to do is there's an event in New Orleans we want to be at in the last weekend in January. And then we're going to be at the Rose City Yarn Crawl in Portland, Oregon, like that second weekend in March. And we're basically going around the border of the U.S. So we're going to take 10 the whole way west, and then the PCH the whole way up to Portland. So yeah, then we'll be in the Pacific Northwest for a while, and then we're going to kind of fill in the rest of the country as we go back. Doing that, and then yeah, it'll be Midwest and Northeast kind of next year.
I saw 2 questions like can you let us know like ahead of time, like when you're gonna be somewhere, or like can you post a schedule a few weeks ahead of time? And maybe we will get to that point, but right now we are not even ourselves planning that far in advance. So we can't share what we don't know. Like we just figured out like this weekend, basically. Like we don't know where we're staying tonight. I mean, we have a loose plan, but it's not like set in stone. So as much as we can, we'll try to share. And my hope is that we get better at it and maybe more planned in advance. So we will share what we know.
Yeah, I think next year will be a lot more organized and be like, hey, we'll be in this town in a week or something, and have a better idea where we'll be. And we can be like, we'll be at a coffee shop or at this yarn store, and
oh, that's a fun idea.
And all that. So
like coffee shop, that'd be fun. So it could be really casual.
If no one comes, you just get to have some coffee, and if a lot of people come, then yay.
Yeah. Okay, there's one more question for you for sure before you walk away. Why are you a Ducks fan?
Oh, my brother went to University of Oregon, and then my mom lived just outside Eugene, basically in Eugene. Yeah, I don't know. It was like heyday, well, not heyday of the Ducks, but it was like definitely Marcus Mariota era. And it was just a lot of fun to go. So the Ducks rubbed off on me. If they ever played my alma mater, I would still cheer for SMU. But no, we love the Ducks. And their Big Ten schedule just came out, so coming to a Midwest city near you in the next 5 years.
Where did my other shirt go?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna wear this one. I got cold. Okay. Oh, do you want to answer what your job is?
Oh, yeah. I work for Natalie. She's my boss. Yeah, I mean, I do all the video editing, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, you know, for like yarn crawls, get all the contact information there, get all that going so we know when we're going to each store, kind of plan the route we're taking and everything like that. Yeah, then just editing and recording and
Yeah. If you had a title, it would definitely be like operations.
yeah.
Because Kent plans everything about where, like, he basically takes care of us, like where we're driving, where we're staying. He researches the stores. He makes the plan on how to get there. I usually do like, okay, like I like finalize things. I'm like the sign off person, and I draft the emails, and then Kent will like send them, and then that leaves me really, it's amazing because it leaves me freer to do all of the creative things. And then Kent film, like almost everything that you see, Kent is holding the camera filming. And I may be like directing what to do. Like, let's make sure we get a shot of this. I'm taking notes behind the scenes. I'm, making sure we get like, what is that pattern called? What is that yarn called? I'm asking the interview questions, but like Kent's setting up the camera, Kent's editing, and then I go in and I watch Kent's edit, and I'm like, ooh, let's put like this section here, and then like the interview here, and let's cut this part out. Like, it's a very much team effort for everything that we do, for sure, right? Okay, you can stay here if you want,
Yeah,
or you can.
I'll hang out.
Okay. I'm going to talk real quick about the Love and Stitches membership. So the Love and Stitches membership is it's basically just a social community online. So you can be anywhere in the world and join. We have the majority of people are in the US. We also are majority women, although we are expanding our diversity a little bit. We have about 440 members at this point. So the majority are in the US and Canada, and then we have people in the UK and other parts of Europe. We have people in Australia and New Zealand. I think we have like maybe 2 people now in South Africa. And I don't know if we have any, we might have somebody in South America. But we welcome, anyone from all around the world. And we do have like a couple of people in Asia as well. And so we do a variety of different things. Our main components are Zoom events. A lot of the times they're in the evening for us here in the US, but they're recorded, so you can always watch them later on. We do interviews, we do like make-along events. We have our own make-alongs going all of the time. And then we have member-led Zooms, which are just very casual, like hop on and chat. We have a Discord space, which is a place to, have community and chat and everything. We have a book club. Thank you, Aston. We have a book club. Make-alongs. Did I miss anything else? Sometimes we have exclusive items, like the Ruby and Roses yarn. We did an event with Addie where I happened to be at her studio, so we did that event while I was there. We got to see her studio, we got to see the yarn getting dyed, and then only members had access to that yarn. We have several of those things coming up. I already have like 3 or 4 planned out for the next 8 months. So I'm getting really excited about those things. Yeah, it's all of those things, and it is $15 a month if paid in full for the term, which is 4 months at a time. So I think that makes it $60 for 4 months. I don't know if my math is right on that. And then if you pay monthly, it's a little bit more. It's $17.50 per month, but you are able to pay it monthly. That just covers like a variety of things that happen logistically with taking payments. But yeah, that's it. And the next time we're opening up is December. I think it's like December 3rd or 4th. But I will have more info about that coming out soon. It'll be a December, January, February, March. Those will be the 4 months that you'll be signing up for. It's very fun. It's so much fun. Okay. Did you want to say anything about that?
Nope, you hit it.
Kent's also very involved in the membership. He has his own channel where he buys his own yarn for prizes and makes these very sometimes challenging games. We do a lot of giveaways in the membership as well. Okay. Where will you live after van life? What state? You want to talk about that?
I mean, yeah. I would like to go back to New York. I miss New York City a bunch.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We really don't know.
And we also don't know, yeah, if after we finish 50 states, what'll be next as far as travel and stuff.
Do you want to share a hint? Or something that we've been thinking about? Or just keep it a secret?
Some pretty cool yarn crawls that aren't in the U.S.
We're like, why not take things international? That would be very fun. So who knows? We're not like, the itch is like to do new things. So I don't know. Like, it would be cool to have a permanent residence again, but it would be also cool to continue traveling. Who knows? We've got family in Tennessee and in Florida, and I guess we've got like siblings in other states, but that's not always a draw as much as like where your, parents are and everything. So we'll see. We don't know yet. We'll figure it out and let you know a couple months after we decide, because we want to make sure, like, especially with this van thing, like we had an inkling for, I would say, since the beginning of this year of 2023, but we really didn't have solid plans, and we didn't even tell our families for a long, long time until it was getting pretty close to happening. So that's just the way we operate. We kind of start to think about things and like simmer on them for a long time before we pull the trigger and make a decision. Okay, my 9-year-old wants to know how old you are. I'm 31.
I'm 33.
And I guess both of us have March birthdays. So we'll be turning another year older in 2024. I'm like, well, what year is it? I'm new here. Can you please tell me more about your channel and podcast? What are some of your favorite things to make? Well, welcome. I saw a couple of people say they were new here. So I was making sure you were hitting your microphone.
Try not to.
So I have a weekly podcast episode, which is what this video is technically called, but it's not like this typically. Normally it's a pre-recorded thing, but I do record them weekly. I usually record them at the beginning of the week, and they post on Thursdays. I talk about my projects, I answer questions, I talk about what we've been getting up to and our travels. I usually share like a tip of the week, things like that. And then the other video right now is mostly going to be yarn store tours or events that we're going to, and we're trying to go to a yarn store in all 50 states. And then I'm going to be sprinkling in other videos as well. Like, I just started today recording a vlog for the Stephen West MKAL, but it won't come out until after like the pattern is completely released. So we're going to try to start getting like at least, maybe like try to get once a month, another Tuesday video in there as well, right? So that's pretty much what everything is about here. And I'm Natalie, and this is Kent with a T, and that was Toaster, the dog down there. Okay, we're already at like almost 20 minutes, but let's see.
This is fun.
Some of the there was something else that I wanted to make sure. Wait, where did it go? Does Kent knit?
I do not. And I don't have plans to. It's kind of fun to have a little bit of separation in hobbies.
Yes, definitely. I agree. Like, Kent knows so much about yarn and knitting and crochet, but like enough that he can be around, and it's like he can be a part of the conversation and everything, but it also gets to still be my thing, which I appreciate. And then, what are your hobbies?
I mean, I was just planning yarn stores. But no, I mean, I still really like sports. I'm really excited for hockey to start up here. I love video games, but like it's really hard to play like on the road. I mean, I've probably played like an hour total since we left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But tonight you have something.
Oh yeah, we have a Dungeons and Dragons campaign starting tonight.
You're the dungeon master.
Yeah, I'm DMing.
And you play Pokemon still, Pokemon Go.
Yeah, actually Pokemon Go has been really easy to play on the road as a route. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have my Switch like right there, and I've used it once since we left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's hard to like, I mean, I get to knit a lot still because I am in the passenger seat. But it's hard, like, we don't really stop very often. We're like constantly moving and like basically from the time we get up to the time we go to bed, like our home is moving with us, if that makes sense. So it's like there's a little less downtime, but we're starting to get some of that back and everything. Definitely.
I will play Starfield, like when we have a break in November. I love Bethesda stuff. Like Fallout's probably my favorite series ever.
Yeah, that's super good. Okay, so I see one more question I want to make sure to get to. That I was informed moments ago there's a scholarship I can apply to for the membership. How does that work? So in the past, we've done scholarships for current members. That's the only thing that I have set up right now. Let me see what I can do about scholarships for new members. At the moment, I haven't thought through like exactly how to logistically set that up. When we've done scholarships within our membership, we raise funds like from other members, and then I do some myself. Like I front the cost for some myself, and we make that work. So let me think about how I can do that for new memberships, and I'll communicate that like globally, like once I have that figured out, if I can get that figured out. Okay, I think let's go on to life.
Okay.
And if there's questions that come up while we're doing that, we can.
There was one question though that someone asked if I have my own channel, and I don't yet, but something could be coming.
Oh yeah.
With another yarn husband. I don't know what we're gonna call ourselves. could be happening.
Oh, good. Toaster's in it now too. You want to answer some questions, buddy? Okay, so this week, so normally I do a life segment in the podcast. So we're gonna try to talk about a little. Oh wait, we should do one giveaway real quick, right? I still have 4 things left to give away. Can you grab that bag right below you? Nope, this one right here. Yes. Okay, you want to talk about this yarn? I like making Kent do stuff since he's here. Got this at DFW Fiber Fest, and it is a DFW exclusive colorway.
City Vibes from a chick that knits. They're in Oklahoma.
They're in Oklahoma, and this was their special colorway. It's a fingering weight yarn, 2-ply, really, really nice. And I think this is gonna look very cool when it's worked up because the background is like a deep blue, looks like the night sky, and then this will look like the city lights, which I think will be really cool. Okay, so I have another question for people. Should we do it, how could we do it differently?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's just do it the same way. We'll do a random.
All right.
Yeah? Or should we do who answers first again?
I think who enters first is kind of hard.
Oh, yeah, it's not really fair. That's right. Okay. I'm just trying to think of how we could do it different. Oh, well, we'll just do it the same. Okay, so here's my question. And I don't have questions. I only have one more question. And the last 2 won't be question 1. So the question is, yeah, pick a number, right? The question is, what did I do before I did Knitty Natty full time? Does anyone remember? What is the question? Nice. Everyone knows. Okay, so if you're new here in the last like 2 years, because I've only been that was my next question. Never mind, I'm not going to do that next question. Okay, so 2 years ago, I went full-time with Knitty Natty. And before that, I was a teacher for 7 years. I taught kindergarten, and I taught reading intervention in elementary school. So yeah, I was a teacher and doing Knitty Natty at night and on the weekends. And it's been really awesome to now be full-time with things. Y'all all remembered that. Awesome. Okay. You want to pick a random person for me? Yep. Okay, great. I have some bad news. I really have to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
But I want to keep going on this. What should I do? Do you want to take over for a bit?
I can do that.
Can you do that for like 5 minutes for me?
Sure. Here, my thumb randomly landed on this person here.
Which one?
Kate.
Oh, God. Kate?
Kate Garvin.
Kate Garvin. You are the winner. You know what would be funny, actually, Kent?
What?
Well, actually, you're probably going to be good at this. How about you give away one more thing? This thing. Do you remember how this works?
Yeah.
I'll let you explain that, and you can give it away to one more person. Okay?
Yeah.
And I will be right back. because I have got to walk to the Planet Fitness. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Don't take your mic with you.
I'm not taking my mic with me. I have 2 more prizes to give away still, the grand prize, and we're going to talk about what we were up to this week. So don't go anywhere. Okay. All right. You're on the clock.
Alrighty.
Oh wait, I can't take my phone. I can't get in.
Oh.
That's going to be a problem.
Well, maybe they'll remember you.
Okay.
Explain,
Can I
hey.
take yours?
Yeah. They'll know you're not me.
I know, but at least I can say I remember that.
Hey, everyone. What was this? Oh. The coolest... I haven't found, like, really very many cool Pokemon so far, actually. Like, I only gotten, like, 1 shiny, which is kind of a bummer. D&D talk real quick. We're doing... I don't know, like, yeah, actually, our players don't know this, or my players don't know this. We're doing Ghost of the Saltmarsh. We have 6 players. We're going to do it over a long time, so it's going to be kind of... I don't know. Kind of a lot. It's easy to read comments over here, though. Favorite video game ever is World of Warcraft, for sure. My character there, like, I'm pretty sure she could, like, get a driver's license. My cute little mage, Aerie. Oh, and somebody did ask it. Yeah, we will be hopping into Canada a bit here. I know in either March or April we'll be in, like, Vancouver and Victoria. We can't go any further in BC because we don't have winter tires, which I didn't know were a thing until, like, pretty recently. And then I think later on we'll probably hit part of Alberta. Sorry to the middle provinces. But then Ontario and Quebec, I'd imagine, as well. Maybe the Maritimes. Kind of just depends on how we're there. We just actually so tonight is our first session of Ghost of Saltmarsh. We just finished a 2-year-long Strahd campaign, which was really cool. Yeah, I think there's a good chance we end up in Europe at some point. Maybe even all 3 of us. I didn't DM the Strahd one, so I actually don't know the real ending. Toaster is 8. And just I wanted to get a dog, and so I went to a couple different rescue places in Dallas, and he was a little puppy, and he was all alone and super cute, and I don't know, I just got a dog. Alaska and Hawaii, we're going to fly. I know we could drive to Alaska, but we're going to just do it in one big like trip because it's surprisingly cheap to fly from, like, Anchorage to Honolulu. That'll be, like, next end of August or early September because, again, the Oregon Ducks play at the University of Hawaii. So we're going to go to that game and then go from there. Yeah, I may just get chains if we need them, if it ends up needing that. Just because I think we're going to be kind of in and out pretty quick a bit next summer of, like, where we need. I don't really have space to store other tires. I don't work for myself. I do Love and Stitches full time. I did hear about the dude who, flew to commute and stuff. As far as I know, we can drive into Canada with Toaster. I mean, he has all his... I mean, obviously, there's, like, different shots and everything he needs to have. We can take him to Europe, too. That's a whole thing that I've done quite a bit of research on there, that whole Europe trip. Quebec and Ontario, we won't be there until, like, late summer. So I'm not, and Alberta, it'll be after snow's gone. Well, I mean, normally snow's gone, I guess. Yeah, Toaster's confused where Natalie went. Thanks. I like the production of the stuff. I think if we get a house or an apartment and we don't leave for a while, I think we would definitely get another dog. Get him a little brother, a little sister. The channel it would actually be knitting content, just without any actual knitting. That's probably the most I'm going to say right now. The most surprising part about traveling? It didn't take very long for me to get comfortable to like park wherever and like sleep pretty soundly. Like our first couple nights like at a truck stop, I was kind of like, oh man, this is like sauce. But how do I find all the yarn crawls? I follow a surprising amount of yarn stores and dyers on social media. Oh, bye, Toaster.
I'm back.
Natalie's back.
But I'm keep talking for a couple more seconds.
Oh, I also didn't give away anything. We were just talking.
You're just chatting.
Yep.
Answering questions. Ow.
My favorite Pokemon character ever is Togepi.
Can you give away that one other thing?
Yeah. Yeah, Maryland Sheep and Wool, we won't be there next year because it'll be in the like West US. Because that's in May, right? Or April? May? I have a giveaway. It's this. Yeah, no, not at Buc-ee's. We'll park at like Love's. Parked at the Pilot last night. That was a vibe. Yeah, so we won't be at Maryland this year. So we'll be like at, I don't know, Utah or Wyoming or something like that is. Okay, well, some people know what this is. It's a... Alright. So basically, there's this little contraption here. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, you can carry like your yarn around with you. What's this little T-shaped thing goes in here and it holds like your cake, and this is a little thing so you can walk around and it holds and you can knit on the go. For Rhinebeck, we're going to Cake, Indie Untangled, and Woolen Folk all on Friday and recording all of them. So come say hi, but I'll be like on a caffeine high because that is a lot. After I've driven across the country.
Oh, what's wrong? Should I come? Which side of you should I sit
Oh, you can
on?
come back.
Okay. Let me back in.
Look how Dougie.
Thanks for doing that, Kent.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Sorry. I feel so much better now. The guy definitely looked at me like I wasn't you, but he didn't say anything. I was like all ready to explain, like, look, I have this. This is my husband. He's on my phone live. Okay, so you haven't given this away yet, though, have you?
Not.
Okay, let's do this because after this I have 2 more yarns to give away still. So, okay, Kent.
Yep.
Kent is going to think of a number between 1. How many numbers should we do? 1 and 100?
No, how many people are here?
Well, there's a lot of people here, but...
Someone will get it.
Okay, so then let's pick a number between 1 and 669, because that's how many I see right now. So
Between how many?
1 and 669.
Okay.
And are you going to think of a number or just to do a random selection?
I'm going to think of a number.
Okay, so put a number in between 1 and 669. And Kent's not looking at your numbers, but he is going to pick a number. And because I know there will be duplicates, just know that I'm going to be, once he has his number, I'm just going to do the first one that I find. It will still be random, but if you have the same number, just know that like that may be why yours didn't get picked. It's just going to be the first one that I see that has that number to try to stay somewhat fair, or just to try to stay random with this one. This thing is really, really cool. Okay, do you have your number?
I do.
People are still writing theirs in, so let's give them a second to write them in. Need more gloss. I'm addicted to this gloss. I love it. I've been using it for like 10 years. Okay, so while you're writing in your number, I forgot we have a little bit of different news to share real quick. So there was a new video this week on the Yarn Barn in Lawrence, Kansas. If you haven't watched it yet, it's a great one. I know that we're trying to like think of ways to make our store tours like a little bit different. I think we're gonna go a little more vloggy on this next one that we record, although it will be many down the line that you see. But the Yarn Barn is a really cool store. It's been in business for 52 years with the same couple at the head. They have been in this location since like what, 95, I think they said. I may be wrong on that. I think they said it in the interview, but for a while in the same location. And they've been like acquiring different parts of the building. So they have a huge basement with a bunch of storage. They do a lot of shipping. They do a lot of weaving and spinning tools. So you may have ordered from them before, and like a couple people said they've ordered from them, and now it's cool to see like what the store looks like. And then most recently they acquired a space upstairs for their classroom. So they teach a lot of different classes, knitting and crochet, but also weaving and spinning. People are still putting numbers in, aren't they? So that's a really cool one. And then next week, we're going to be at another giant store, this time in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at Knit Stars. I think you're going to like that one too. I got to interview with, why am I blanking on the name? Shelly? I feel like that's right. I don't know why I'm like blanking on the name right now, but we got to interview, and it's really cool to hear like the whole history behind everything. You are the cutest. One of the best things about Toaster is he'll get right in your face, but he won't lick your face most of the time. Like, I think he's licked my face like once in my whole life, right? It's very nice because I don't really want to kiss him. Mwah. Okay. So Kent has your random number.
I do.
Whisper it to me. Oh, show it to me.
I wrote it down.
Okay, he wrote it down, so we have integrity. And then I'm going to go find the first person that I see with this number, if anybody.
I saw at least one.
You did? Okay. And again, I'm just going with the first person I see. Oh, am I going to try spinning? I've tried drop spindling before, and I didn't really care for it, but I think one day I would like to get into spinning on a spinning wheel. If that's the first step, drop spindling, then I will do it again. I haven't seen the number yet. Did I miss it?
Right.
Oh, I found it.
Yep.
Okay, so what was your number?
You can't see.
91. And the first person that I saw with 91 is Melissa White. Melissa, this is yours. Yeah, spinning takes up space, which is a premium right now, but one day, for sure. Congrats, Melissa. Oh my gosh, I'm just thinking about people watching this back now, and they're just gonna have to like wait for us to find the number. Hopefully you can fast forward through some of that.
That wasn't that long.
It wasn't too long, but it is a little bit longer than a normal pause in conversation. Congrats, Melissa. If you can email me your full name and address, that would be so great. So it is Tangerine Designs, and they are a maker. I think they were local to Missouri, right? To St. Louis. We got
Yeah, that sounds right.
We got that at YarnCom, so you can order through YarnCom, so Yarn, C-O-M. You can order from them, or they might sell it on their site. I actually don't know, but that's where we got it from. So, yay, thank you, Melissa. Okay, So let me go through my other quick event things real quick and we'll talk about life. So the West Knits MKAL starts today. I already saw somebody said the pattern's been updated, but Ravelry is also being weird. So try to get your pattern updated when you can. The Enchanted Yarn Crawl in New Mexico is happening this weekend, October 6th through the 8th. It's in Albuquerque, Taos, Santa Fe, and Edgewood. We are going to try to go to as many shops as we can this weekend. Next up, the Mountain and Valley Wool Festival is happening in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We're also going to be there on Saturday. It's happening Saturday and Sunday. So if you're in New Mexico, there's a lot going on this weekend. The Leading Men Fiber Arts, where did my skein go? The Leading Men Fiber Arts sock set is for sale through October 12th. I have the link down below so you can go and order that sock set, and then the sock set will be gone. It will be retired. So make sure to order by October 12th. This is actually one somebody reached out to me to share. So if you are in, oh crap, is that Madison, Wisconsin?
It is Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay, I didn't write that down. If you are in Wisconsin, in the Madison area, there is a yarn shop hop that is coming up soon. It is October 13th through the 15th. Jennifer from Knit Circus Yarns is the one who reached out and tipped me off to this one. We will not be there, but I wanted to share it here on the channel in case you are in that area, and I'm hoping to try to be more of a resource for events and not just the events that we're going to. So there are 13 locations. I think most of them are yarn shops. One or two maybe more leaning towards the gift sewing. There might have been a farm. I can't remember. I didn't look too closely into it, but they do have a website and I have it linked already down below. Last event, Rhinebeck is coming up. Rhinebeck weekend is October 20th through the 22nd. The 20th is a Friday, and that's when all the side events happen. So India Entangled, Cake Palooza, Wool and Folk, and then Saturday and Sunday is the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. You can get all of your tickets online. For the 3 Friday events, I think you must get them online, and there's time slots for India Entangled and Cake. For Wool and Folk, it's and more open, it's kind of a noon. I think last year was noon to 7. I'm not sure when it is this year. And then the New York Sheep and Wool Festival is the actual Rhinebeck. It's the only one that's in Rhinebeck, and the tickets for that are much cheaper. They're $13, $15. They're $2 cheaper if you get them online versus getting them at the door. So do whatever you need for that, but I have all those resources linked down below, as well as our videos from previous years, so you can kind of plan your trip around that. Okay, that's all the events. Let's talk about what we've done this week. Hey, I want him. Mine. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's hot. He's kind of sweaty. He's such a sweet boy. Okay, so this week, we're not going to be able to share any photos because my phone has all the photos on it, but we started out last week in Anaheim, California at Disneyland. And some people had questions about Disneyland earlier, so if you have Disneyland questions, let us know. So we spent Monday, we dropped Toaster off at a Rover on Sunday, and then we spent Monday at a campground. There's an RV park about a mile or less than a mile.
Yeah, less than a mile.
Less than a mile from the entrance to downtown Disney. And Kent got us a spot a couple weeks in advance, I think. And so we had a spot there for 4 nights. And so we spent Monday working, filming the podcast for the week, getting all of our videos in order so that we could take off time to go to Disney for the next 2 days. And so that was kind of a nice day because we didn't have to move the van anywhere. We just got to, oh my goodness, I love you so much. Oh, we just got to settle in and do that. And then Tuesday and Wednesday is when we actually went to the parks, and we ended up getting park hoppers because we had a little snafu with our reservations. Do you want to explain?
Yeah. We had tickets. We didn't have reservations because we haven't been to land since that was a thing.
Pre-pandemic, we haven't been.
So we got there and like, oh, we don't have reservations. This isn't good. So I called and they couldn't do anything. I'm like, it's silly to keep calling when I'm like this close. And so I just like walked to the ticket booth and told them. They're like, nope. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll go to a different one. And then when I was in line for that, there was like some people outside, some cast members, and I'm like, here's what's up. We just drove here. We're dumb. I know it's my fault, but is there any way? Like, is there a best time? Like, I wasn't that straight asking for reservations. Like, is there a best time to like get that? Like, are they released in real time or whatever? And the guy's like, hold on. And then it was just like, all right, you're good. I'm like, what? So it all worked out. Disney magic. It's live and well.
Yeah, so if you don't know this and you're planning to go to Disneyland, I don't know if they do this at World still.
They do, but you can get like, I mean, unless it's something big, you can get in like most days.
Yeah, so essentially we
It's also going away in January.
Oh,
February,
is
I
it?
think.
Okay.
At least at World.
So we had booked our campsite, we had booked Toaster or Rover, we had purchased our tickets, but what we hadn't done was actually reserve the days that we were going to go, and it was all booked for the week. So we just got really lucky, I think, that we were able to find somebody who, like, I don't know, worked around for us. I think we also learned that if we had just waited until the evening, the night before, that some people would have canceled and we would have been able to get reservations. But we were in a little bit of a panic because obviously it's not the end of the world if we don't get to go to Disney. But it's like everything was already paid for and in place for us to go. And if we weren't going, we were kind of just like stuck in Anaheim without really any rhyme or reason to be there. So we got lucky that we got to go, and it forced us to get park hoppers versus getting one park per day. In Disneyland, there's Disneyland and California Adventure, and we were going to do one day and one the other, and instead we had to like pay a little more to be able to go to both parks, and that worked out to be really great because we got to ride so much with just 2 people at Disney. It's a really fun time because one, it's easier to be on the same page if you're 2 people, but also it's just easier to get on rides. We did a lot of stuff single rider. We also, for the first time, bought what's it called? Genie?
Oh, Genie Plus.
We bought Genie Plus. Like, we really splurged because we were only there for the 2 days. So we were just like, we're going to get everything. We're going to just take advantage. And what that allowed us to do is we would go at rope drop, which is when the park opens, and we would ride as much as we could. And then when it got too hot, we would walk back to our van, take a break. There was a pool at our RV park. And then once it was like 4 or 5 o'clock, the sun was starting to go down. It was still a little warm, but it was starting to go down. We would go back and then stay until they closed. Almost. We couldn't quite make it. We're not as young as we used to be. We used to do like 5 days in a row, rope drop to fireworks, or to past fireworks to close.
Which is crazy.
And not go home in between. I don't know how we used to do that.
No, and the reservation thing is like since reopening and stuff. I mean, it's my fault too. Like, I should have been better prepared. I even I'm like, oh, I don't know. I have this bad habit sometimes of like not doing things until I have to. And so like I should have just finished. It was my fault.
It was a little bit, but it keeps working out for us. But we're not doing that anymore.
Never.
We're like, okay, we need to like book stuff ahead of time. If we need to change it, we can change it, but at least it's booked.
Never again.
That's our new motto. Let's see. They let you pay for tickets because you're buying a ticket that's good for a year, and then you choose your day. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. How do you find your rovers? So we started using Rover in New York City. We had an awesome person that we used all the time there. If you ever saw me post like pictures of when Toaster was boarded, and he would be on this red couch with like 6 other dogs, they were the best ever. Like, Toaster loved going there so much that when we would walk him anywhere near that neighborhood, he would start pulling us towards their townhome. Like, he loved it there, right?
Yeah.
Like, we would like cross 10th Avenue, and he would just be like pulling us over to their place. So the first time we used Rover on the road was in Kansas. And because we were going to a football game, it was like 100 degrees. And so we just didn't feel comfortable leaving Toaster in the car because we would be too far away from him if our air conditioning went out to get back. We felt like in a safe time. Plus, it was just going to be a long day, like leaving him. So we're like, let's get him a Rover. And so whenever I am looking on the app for Rover, I always try to find somebody who has at least like 10 clients, like have like not a brand new person on there. Somebody who allows dogs on the bed, allows dogs on the couch, because Toaster is used to both of those things and would not feel very comfortable if he had to like keep being told to get down. Plus I would just like not want to do that at somebody's home. I also feel like if people allow their own pets on the couch, then they're like more our type of vibe anyway. And then I don't know, I just kind of like vet people based on their little paragraph, honestly, and then I reach out to them, and if I feel like a good connection with them, I pick them, and it's so far been very, very good. Toaster has done well with kids, he's done well with cats, he's done well with other dogs. He has a good time, so we've been fortunate, I think. Okay, let's move on to the next thing that we did this week. So after we did a few days at Disney.
I do want to say one thing.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Disneyland is better than Disney World.
Interesting.
Just saying.
I'm not sure if I agree with you anymore on that.
It's very true.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're both great, but I think they're like, Disneyland is the one in California, Disney World is the one in Florida. If you only can go to one, especially if you're like traveling internationally, I would go to Disney World. But if you like Disney parks, it's worth checking them both out, I think. Like Disneyland has a different vibe. To me, it's not as crowded. The weather is also way better in California. Sorry, Florida. Like the humidity in Florida is brutal. Disneyland is just like classic, I think, in a way, that Disney World is more like, what's the right word? Like, it's newer, so it has like, the queues are really cool. There's more space at Disney World. The queues are awesome.
They definitely learned with the problems they have at Land and made them better at World, but ride, like, oh man, this could be a whole thing. I'll say this one thing and then maybe another. Next time we do a live, I'll have a 20-minute Disney segment. But like ride per ride, Land wins in almost every time. Like when you compare Mission Breakout to Tower of Terror, the Pirates is better, Haunted Mansion is better with the overlay. It's a whole thing, you guys.
So I did see somebody said, what's your favorite ride? My favorite ride is Mission Breakout. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy ride that took over Tower of Terror. And I think it's better than Tower of Terror because it's got more drops and more randomization. What's your favorite ride?
I really like Mission Breakout too. I think I like Star Wars. I'm not like a huge Star Wars person. Well, I don't know. I'm somewhere in there. Rise of the Resistance is probably the best theme park ride like on the planet. It's actually insane.
That's a really good one.
But yeah, Mission Breakout's probably the most fun.
Yeah, it's a really good one. If you can handle drops, I mean, it's so worth it. Like, we usually try to do that one first, and I mean, it wakes you up like that.
Also a big Jungle Cruise guy.
Yeah, you are really big into Jungle Cruise.
Big Jungle Cruise guy.
Okay, let's move on from Disney. I know not everyone loves Disney. Okay, so after we did Disney, we didn't really have a solid plan. We were kind of debating going to San Diego, which we ended up not doing, and we will be going to San Diego next year for sure. So instead, one of my Love and Stitches members, who's been a member for a long time, is a part owner to one of the yarn stores in Southern California, and she invited us to come to the store, but then she was like, you can come and stay with me at my house. And we were like, this sounds like a cool opportunity. Like, I think, yeah, let's do this. So we kind of changed, we didn't like have solid plans yet, but we kind of like pivoted to doing that. So on Thursday, we drove out to Redlands, California, which is about an hour, I would say, from Anaheim. It was about an hour from Anaheim. And we stayed with my friend Gretchen at her beautiful house. Oh my gosh, she has this beautiful yard and pool, and like it looks over the mountains, and like it was so nice, and the weather was so good. And she also has 3 dogs, and Toaster loved being part of the pack. He was very, very cute. And then we ended up hanging out at their store. So it's called Hands On Knitting Center, or HOKC is what they call it, HOKC. And we just did kind of like a meet and greet on Thursday. It was a group of maybe like, I don't know, 8 people or so, I think. in total. A lot of people were like there working at the shop. So the shop, Hands On Knitting Center, is a co-op owned by 11 people, right? I think they said 11 or maybe 12. So it's very cool. All women, women-owned business. And so we just hung out there on Thursday. Friday, we used the opportunity to be like in a home and work. We got a lot of work done. That's when I got all my yarns organized and some stuff shipped. And then on Saturday morning, we filmed a tour there. So that will be coming about a month from now. And then we hung out for a little bit longer at the store.
Was it all women?
I thought it was it not?
I don't know. I'm not 100%. I don't remember.
I need to check on that then and make sure. So that was really great. They have, a wide selection and a lot of really knowledgeable people. With that many people owning the store, they have people that weave, people that spin, people that knit, crochet, dye. They were doing one of the owners was doing like a private dye lesson with somebody on one of the days. So it's different. Like in a lot of ways, it has.
Thanks, Savannah and San Diego.
Ah, hey Savannah. We wish we got to meet you. We got to meet your siblings.
Big news in that family.
No, stop. They're not sharing that. But yeah, so we had a really great time. It was like both a very chill, like it was just a cool van life thing of like, oh, we got to we didn't have a solid plan. We ended up staying in one place for 3 days. It was really cool. And then we went to, Toaster actually stayed an extra night with all the pups. This is so cute right now. He stayed an extra night, and we went back into LA with our van and hung out with some of Kent's friends that happened to be traveling.
Yeah, so back to my World of Warcraft days. My guild that I was in most recently, we're done now. But some of them are in California, and then some of them are Canadian, and they were driving down the PCH, and we all happened to line up, or the Canadians and us lined up, and it all worked. So we all went to dinner that night and hung out for a bit the next day. So it was really cool.
I'm taking a picture of Toaster.
So yeah, online friends. We had all met a couple times. Like last year, we all went to, I think 14 of us went to Las Vegas together. And then last December, there's 6 came to stay with us in New York. So it was just cool that it lined up when they were there too. So
it was fun. We went to dinner and then we parked. This was like another new kind of van life thing for us. So this week we stayed with I don't want to say a stranger because I knew we had talked to Gretchen before, but I never met Gretchen in person. So we stayed with somebody that we had not met in person for the first time and stayed in their house, and it was great. And then we had never parked in front of a friend's house and stayed in our van before. So we did that at his friend's house. They had a pretty big area to park in front of their house, and we slept in our van that night and then went back and we met up with them for coffee in the morning, and then we went back to Redlands and picked up Toaster. So it was really cool. It was a very cool week of what this life is all about, it felt like for me.
Yeah.
That was really
very
nice.
cool.
Then the last thing we did coming into this week, on Monday night, was it Monday night?
Yeah. Yes.
On Monday night, we drove into the Grand Canyon, and we actually stayed 2 nights in a campground in the Grand Canyon, which is one of the biggest, one of the most well-known, I would say, national parks here in the United States.
Yeah. One of the 7 wonders of the natural world. Natalie. Oh gosh, you guys.
Okay. So the Grand Canyon is absolutely incredible, but I will say it's a lot of the same thing. So let me defend myself. We were in the South Rim. Let me defend myself. We had just been to Petrified Forest, which is my favorite national park we've been to so far, because there were 12 different stops in the Petrified Forest, and it was still a lot of rocks, national parks, a lot of rocks, a lot of trees, but each area was a little bit different. There was places to walk around, there was different views. I thought it was really cool. The Grand Canyon is a lot of the same-ish views. You also have to get out a lot to see everything. Like you can't, like some national parks you can drive through and like see all the animals and see all the sights, and you know, you may have to get out for an overlook or two. In the Grand Canyon, like you must get out to really take in and appreciate it, and it is majestic and amazing. And I think that we have like loose plans to go back and actually like walk into the canyon, and it was really amazing. I'm just saying it wasn't like it wasn't like that much variety, but staying there is really cool. Like this was the national park that I've seen the most just like people like there like hanging out having a good time. I mean, there's like restaurants and bars and campsites and a grocery store. Like what?
I've seen the other national parks. Like when you go to Death Valley, you're like, well, that was a thing.
I mean,
There's nothing here. Redwoods, like there's trees.
We saw some elk and some deer.
Yellowstone will get you.
I feel like that me saying like, wow, it's not that different is a very spoiled maybe point of view, because we have been getting to see so many amazing things. What did you think?
I mean, I love the Grand Canyon.
You'd been before. I had never
I've
been before.
Yeah.
And you know what happens when you haven't been somewhere before and you have some kind of idea and then it's not exactly what you think? Like
Did you expect it to be bigger?
Yeah, I did, I think. I don't know. I think I expected to be able to like see the whole thing.
Oh, no.
I don't know what I expected, but I'm the kind of person that like I let my imagination wander a little too much, and then the first time I do something, I need to lower my expectations. Usually when I do something the second time, same with like movies. When I watch things the second time, I like them more. When I try new foods the second time, I like them more. I have a hard time.
We'll hike Red Angel, we'll stay down the night, then we'll come back and be like, okay, wow. It's pretty crazy.
No, it was amazing. It was just different.
The redwoods are, but she'll be like, oh, they're just trees. They're just big trees. I've seen a tree.
I'm like, oh, there's a moose, just a big deer.
We have had the moose versus elk talk quite a bit.
Oh, yes. I keep seeing the yellow signs that, like, you know, there's the yellow signs that will warn you if there's deer. We started seeing the signs that had a different animal on it. And I'm like, oh, is that a moose? And Kent's like, it's an elk. And like, we would see one where they were like positioned, like the silhouette was different. I'm like, oh my gosh, moose. And he's like, also an elk. So I'm trying to learn my animals. I'm not the best at it. Oh man. Okay, let's see what people said. Oh, the North Rim is better. Oh, we also know that we need to go to like Page, I think Page, Arizona. And then there was something else, Antelope Canyon, that we need to go to at some point.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of the national parks like beginning of summer, end of spring, like kind of as things are opening next year.
Somebody said they took an 8-day raft trip down the Grand Canyon. That is so cool. That sounds amazing. Can you tell us the difference between an elk and a moose? Which one's that?
Elk is like this.
An elk?
And
An
a
elk
moose
has
is
its antlers
like this.
in, and a moose has its antlers out.
I mean, there's more to it, but like that's like the basic. Like they're like flat, they're little.
I feel like a moose's antlers are like a bigger part in the middle, and like
They're like
rounded more.
They're like little. I'm a moose. I'm an elk.
You should probably Google that.
What's the
Google
difference?
for a better explanation.
No, I mean they're they're different animals, but I mean that's the.
How to tell the difference between them. Also, a moose is huge.
It's a junior park ranger. I know that it's like 11-year-olds. Yeah, words.
Yeah, a moose has flatter antlers. An elk is kind of like a larger deer, but a moose is like bigger than horse, right? A moose is huge.
A moose is like.
It's massive. Like if you see a moose, you're gonna know.
Yeah, like if you hit like a moose while driving, like.
And moose are angrier. You should ask them how they're feeling to see which one they are. Yeah, moose are so big. I think we've only seen a moose one time in Colorado.
Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah.
We saw a moose.
Yes, very dangerous. Yeah. Okay, I think I have one last thing to share, and that's quick. What I'm reading. I'm reading A Court of Wings and Ruin. I just started it. I'm not very far in. It's a little slow getting started. But if you're a Court of Thorns and Roses fan, I have been waiting for the third book to come out. I really liked the second one. I've heard that the third one is not quite as like story-wise like exciting as the as the second, but I've heard it's really spicy. So I'm down for that. I'm excited to get into that book and read it. I only have like 10 more days to read it, like borrow it from the library, so I need to get on it. Oh yeah, Kent's brain is like that. Somebody said I'm just to the point where Kent took over. He's all over the place. Like you never know what question he's answering in the moment. Kent's brain, we'll be sitting and like we'll be writing, and Kent will be like, so yeah, when we do that, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like you haven't been speaking out loud. I don't know what you're talking about. I do that sometimes too.
We all do.
We all do, but you do it a lot.
I do.
You have a thinking face, and it is on 90% of the time.
What are we watching?
What are we watching? Oh yeah, okay, so we are watching right now, we just started a new series, new to us. It came out in 2018, I think. The Haunting of Hill House. So we wanted something spooky for October. I don't really love scary stuff. The first episode definitely freaked me out a bit, but the other ones haven't been quite as like jump scary, I think.
No, yeah.
Yeah, they haven't been quite as jump scary. And we're watching them a little earlier in the evening and then cleansing our palate with like a funny YouTube video before we go to bed, because The Haunting of Hill House, it's a little bit scary, but it's been fun to have like a spooky show and to watch something again. We haven't like watched a show in a while, but it's been good. Oh, it ripped your heart out? Yeah, it's like the story itself seems to be really, really good.
And as someone who will typically say Shirley Jackson is their favorite author, it's very, very, very different than the book. But the show's great. It's just, yeah.
We tried to listen to the book and like as an audio book, and because we were like, oh, that'll be fun for us to like listen, read a book together while we're riding in the car. And we were both like, nah. It was hard to, like, I have a hard time listening to audiobooks that I haven't already read, because it's hard for me, like the auditory, like following along thing is hard for me. You do that a lot better than me. Like I'm somebody who needs subtitles and to listen when we're watching shows. So I think just the auditory thing is hard for me just to listen to. Oh no! Low battery. That's okay. We're almost done here. Almost done. It's only been like 2.5 hours. Thanks for hanging in here. If you've been here the whole time, like thank you so much for hanging out today. This has been so much fun to celebrate. So I have 2 more yarns to give away, and then I need to explain the big giveaway. So I think we should just end with that, yeah? These are my other 2 yarns. Okay. How do we want to do this one? This is good for when we just talked about the national parks. Kind of. Not really related, but this is another DFW Fiberfest colorway. This is from Red Stag Fiber. Are you about to eat a marshmallow?
No.
Oh, okay. This is from Red Stag Fiber, and this colorway is called Turning Leaves. This base is really cool. It's 100% superwash merino 3-ply. So I feel like it's maybe not something you'd want to use for socks, but maybe for a hat or an accessory that's not going to get as much wear and tear. It's really nice. Or you could use it for socks. I just don't have experience with socks that don't have nylon in them or some kind of synthetic. Yeah, it's really, really pretty. Okay, so for this one, I don't have any more questions. I'm out of questions. Do you have a question for people?
I don't.
Oh, I was trying to think of something that everyone would have an answer to. Like, just tell us your favorite something. Tell us your favorite Halloween candy, and then we'll pick somebody random.
Wait, no, not candy. Time out. No,
time
not
out.
candy.
Okay, sorry.
Let's do favorite Halloween movie.
Okay, favorite Halloween movie. If you are not a Halloween celebrator, just tell us your favorite movie. That's fine.
2 candy corns first.
Well,
is super sauce.
You're lying. What's your favorite one, Kent?
Movie?
Halloween movie, yeah.
I mean, it probably is Hocus Pocus or the first Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Those are just like pure.
We always watch
Halloween.
Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town
On Halloween.
on Halloween. We wait to watch those.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Is it really like a good movie though?
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm.
Solid Thanksgiving movie.
I'm definitely a Christmas movie person more than a Halloween movie person, but
We had 2 Beetlejuice in a row. If there was 3, it would have happened.
Yeah. Oh, Practical Magic is a good one. I went through like a couple of years ago. We tried to watch like one Halloween movie every day. And I watched a lot that I hadn't seen before. But I also watched like kid movies, like things that were not super scary. Charlie Brown Halloween, oh yeah, that's a good one. The Corpse Bride, oh, so scary. Too scary for me. Okay, Kent, this is how we're gonna do this one.
All right.
The Muppet, that's funny. Okay.
The Muppets Haunted Mansion last year was like, or 2 years ago, was really solid.
Really?
By the way.
The Haunted Mansion movies are also good, I think. We watched the new one when it came out in July. Okay, number 1 through 5.
3.
Okay. I'm scrolling 3 times. 1 through 10.
7.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I have a winner. The winner of this beautiful skein is Sarah Wartenberg. And your favorite Halloween movie is Trick or Treat. I don't know that one.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat. All right. I'm going to copy your name into my thing. What?
Coraline is a solid movie too.
Coraline, no, the button eyes.
I love Coraline.
The button eyes are too scary. Basically anything Tim Burton, right? Is that the right name?
He didn't do Coraline though, did he?
He didn't do Coraline? It just seems like that kind of esque. It's too scary for me. Okay, Sarah Wartenberg, you are the winner. Yeah, the button eyes, just too scary. Too creepy. Monster House. Oh, that is a good movie. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Incredible Live.
Oh, that one song, that Time Warp song. Oh, it drives me nuts.
I'd sing it, but we'd get in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, well, let's give away this other one.
Our next giveaway, this half full bag of marshmallows.
We wanted to make s'mores while
We had to get squares, so they only came in big bags.
Well, you can't just buy like 4 marshmallows.
Get a smaller bag of normal size marshmallows.
Whatever. You have to get the big marshmallows for s'mores. Okay, last one, and then we'll do the big one. This is from Charming You. This is also a DFW Fiberfest colorway. And fun colors, kind of in a jewel-ish tone, but also like fall-like. It's really, really pretty. So for this one, it's our last one. Can you help me think of something new to do?
A new game?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, right? You can check out Charming You to see if there's any left. Might be. We also, you know what? Let's just pick another person from the movies. That'll make it nice and quick. How about that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Kent, give me a number 1 through 5 again.
2.
Am I still in movies? Yes. Okay. 1 through 10?
1.
Okay. We have our final winner. Here we go. Our final winner is Crafty Knitty Jillian. And your favorite movie is Hocus Pocus. And actually, why can't I copy this? Whatever. I think my internet is failing here. It is. Hopefully it stays on here, fingers crossed. Yay! So for our last 2 winners, just make sure to email me, nittynatty@gmail.com, with your full name and your address so I can get that to you. Can you write down Crafty Knitty Jillian on your phone? Because it won't let me do anything
Yes.
on this. Hopefully our router is still on. I don't know. Can you check and make sure our inverter didn't go off?
You betcha.
Thank you. It's okay, toaster. Okay, guys. It's still on? It wasn't on? Okay. We might have a little glitch here for a second. Stay on, stay on. Why does it just randomly turn off sometimes?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, the comments just stopped coming through for a sec.
Mysteries of the van.
Mystery of the van. Still good here. Okay, good. You're still here. Okay. I'm gonna talk about the grand prize, which I'm not giving away live. I am going to pull a winner. It will be at least in a week's time. It might be a little longer than that because I think I already have from the unwind video. I think I already need to announce a winner in next week's podcast. So I'll probably pull it for podcast episode 202 instead of 201. So you'll have a little more time to watch this and enter and everything like that. But this giveaway comes to us courtesy of a Homespun house. So if you watched last week's podcast episode, or if you saw this when it happened in my stories, you might already know this. I was making a Battenberg blanket with a Homespun house advent calendar. And then I ordered from Molly 6 skeins of this neutral color called Antique, and she sent them to me. And when it arrived, there was only 4 skeins. And come to find out that the package had either, whether accidentally or intentionally, it had been opened. And there was no tears on the package, so I'm not sure what happened exactly. We never found out, but basically only 4 skeins came to me. And so Molly and I talked about it, and I was like, you know, I really want the 6 skeins that I need for the blanket to be the same dye lot, because they're, you know, this is something I put so much time into. I just really don't want it to like be different, you know? And so instead of ordering just, you know, 2 more skeins to go with these 4, I decided to get an additional 6 skeins. And so I asked Molly, I'm like, what do you want me to do with these 4 yarns? Like, should I send them back to you? Like, you know, pay, what do you want me to do? And she was so generous, and she said to keep them and use them for a giveaway. But not only just to keep them, but she actually sent me, wait, I'm still not on the Wi-Fi. Can you make sure it's on? Mm-hmm. Is this on? Okay. Anyway, not only just keep them, she thought, what if I send you some minis and you can put together a little kit for a small, this will be a small size, Battenberg blanket. And she sent this. Look at these minis. I do not know what these minis came from. I'm guessing some of them might have been like Advents or maybe tester colors. I have no idea. The next part of that story is that the second package, so the first package got like delivered to my parents, but with half of the things in there. The second package got delivered to Texas, which is, my parents live in Tennessee. I just happened to be in Texas and I was able to go pick it up. It's just a weird story. Like, this yarn has gone through it. If you win this yarn, it is so meant to be. So anyway, all of these beautiful minis, they are 10-gram minis. So the person who wins this grand prize, can't speak, will get 4 skeins of Antique, which is a beautiful neutral color. And then all of these minis. Now you can obviously do whatever you want with them. You don't have to use them together. You can use them separately. I don't know what you want to do, whatever you want to do with the yarns. But it could be a very cool Battenberg blanket, which is a crochet blanket with little tiny squares. It would make a smaller one, think lap size, baby size maybe, because even though this is a ton of yarn, you need a ton of yarn for blankets. If you're not a crocheter, I'm sure there are tons of knitting patterns out there that would be really pretty with like fun colors and a neutral. What was the one that I think Kat, you said at the top of this episode, like the sweet shop blanket or something? It's little garter stitch squares where half the square is this, like a color, and the other half is a neutral. Like, that would be sweet shop. Thank you. That would be so pretty. Anyway, this is going to be a lot of yarn for you to use however you please. But we thought it would be a very cool blanket if that's what you want to make. So thank you, Molly, for not only letting me keep this yarn, but then sending this to also include in this giveaway. Okay. I need your help again, because I didn't think of how I wanted people to enter. You're basically gonna leave a comment, but I want to have something special, like something fun for the comment to enter to win this blanket giveaway. or this this big yarn giveaway. I should have thought of something before and I just didn't. Also, don't let me forget, I need you to take a thumbnail picture of me after this before I get up and move all my projects out of here. An emoji would be easy, but I want to do like a fun question, because what I love more than anything is like getting to like share something in the comments. And obviously it's a little selfish because it gives me something like cool to see and like connect with you all. But I think it's also fun. Like, I think maybe I'm not the only person who likes to read through comments on videos. I like to read through comments sometimes, not always all of them on other people's videos, but I think it's really, really fun. Anyone have any ideas? Oh, lots of people having cool ideas. Oh, I like that one. Okay, let's do that one because we're in a celebrating mood, celebrating a milestone, 200 episodes. And I just saw Salila, I think, said, oh, you guys have so many fun suggestions. I'm just going to pick this one. Wait, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, or should I do that? Kendra, that's a good idea. Okay, let's do that since it's a 200 episode. Okay. How about to enter to win the big prize with the 4 skeins and the mini? Can you tell me about your favorite, like, Knitty Natty Love and Stitches moment? I'll give you 2 questions you can answer. You can answer either one. How about that? So either tell me your favorite Love and Stitches Knitty Natty moment. It doesn't have to be from YouTube. It could be from Instagram or something. Either one is good. And if you're like, oh no, I'm like brand new here, like this is the first episode that I'm watching, it's okay. I'm gonna give you another question prompt to answer that I really liked. And the other one was, and not here in the comments. The other one was, what is like the best thing that knitting and crochet has brought into your life? Like, tell me something. You don't have to share like 5 paragraphs or anything. It can be a quick sentence. Like, what does knitting and crochet bring to your life? The best thing for you. You don't need to use a keyword because I'm not going to sort. Rather, I will pick and then check. I will randomly select and then check that you've answered the prompts. So just leave a comment down below answering either one of those questions. I'll put the instructions in the description box too if it helps you to see it written out, or if you forget today and you're coming back later. So either tell me your favorite Knitty Natty moment or the best thing that knitting and crochet has brought to your life. And again, it's a comment on the video, not here in the live chat. If you tell me in the live chat, like, that's fine. I love seeing that too. But in order to enter for the prize, it does need to be a comment. Definitely. Yeah. Oh, I already see some things that favorite things are Vlogmas. Favorite things are Sock Week. That crochet and knitting relax you. I love that. So if you're sharing it here, why don't you just copy your answer and then you can put it in the comment down below. Are you not able to comment now? If you're not able to comment now, you'll definitely be able to comment after the live, for sure. And it might take a couple hours for the live to go up. This is a very long one, so it might take a little bit. Yeah, maybe it doesn't allow you to comment. Okay, great. So you can comment after. I will start getting that uploaded here in just a second because we are going to close out. Do you want to come say bye, Kent? You were a big part of this episode. Bye-bye. Toaster is still here, relaxing. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for celebrating with me today. This has been so much fun. I hope that we're all still here in 100 episodes from now, which will be probably 2 years away, 2.5 years away, and we can do another really fun thing to celebrate. But just from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here, your support, and just you like watching and commenting and liking or like sending me a nice message. Like, there's so many ways that you're part of the community that helps us like either financially be able to continue on this journey or just emotionally be able to continue doing this. You're a big part of it, and I just appreciate you so very much. If you ever see me at a Yardy event, at a yarn store, or you just happen to be at a coffee shop or something that we're at, please come say hi. I always would love to meet you, take a picture if that's something that you're comfortable with or seeking out. I'm always excited and happy to do that. All right, everyone have a great rest of your Thursday. Good luck on the MKAL. Good luck getting your Rhinebeck sweaters done with all of your projects. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.